And we's back. Moving on to Videogames now. Who wants to start?
Oh, it's gonna be me.
Alright.
So,
it's
my
you.
number 5 for video games of all time that I think people should play, Bioshock 1.
Good.
Bioshock 1.
Good. I like it.
It's probably my overlapping sci-fi / political stance. Like it's like a game with a meaning behind it. This is gonna be my only one really, and it's definitely Bioshock. Like the entire game's not like a political message. I mean, it kind of is, but not really.
Well, the story writer behind it's a fucking genius.
Oh yeah, he is.
Good old Ken Levine.
Yeah, and just the first 20 minutes of the game where you have an airplane crash or swim through the ocean, you're like, oh my god, what's gonna happen? And you see a lighthouse, middle of fucking nowhere. All right, you swim to the shore, you climb in, you get into a what the fuck was the word they used for those weird circular submarine things?
Bathyspheres?
Bathyspheres, yeah. You go down and you eventually get into Rapture, and you almost immediately get attacked by some freaky shit. And this game came out in 2007, so I was 12.
Yeah.
And could not quite handle almost immediately being trapped in a small ball in a video game while someone is tearing through the and then fucking machine gun turret thing flying through the air. Chases it off. Oof. It's already been a roller coaster. First 20 minutes. Fucking Christ. Okay. And then it gets bananas from beginning to end.
Yep.
It's a very political leaning game. It really is.
But it's also still just a good game.
Yeah, no, it's an amazing game.
It's one that I kind of missed.
Yeah. I did too.
It's one that we should like, because at least the original is very survival horror from what I've heard.
It was. It is.
Just kind of missed it, and I doubt I'll ever play it.
Oh my god, dude, you could. It's not that hard.
Oh, I know I could, but I have so many other games
that
I'm already not playing that I should be playing.
I think I played Bioshock 2 first, is the one where he plays the Big Daddy, right?
Yeah.
I played that one first and really enjoyed it, and then everyone else was like, dude, you should play Bioshock 1, and I think Kenny loaned it to me, and I'm like, as good as Bioshock 2 was, Bioshock 1 was way fucking better.
Oh yeah, Bioshock 1 was much better, because Bioshock 2 has pretty much the same political background themes, but you just get to play a Big Daddy with no real interesting story.
Yeah.
In the first game, you learn all about Rapture as a city. You realize that there's been some weird, strange civil war that happened a while ago between the kind of regular people and the full-blown splicers.
Yeah.
And the splicers are humans that have gotten addicted to Adam and what are the powers they use?
Plasmids.
Plasmids, yeah. They get addicted to plasmids, and they get addicted to Eve.
Yeah.
And the more you use it, the more you need to continue functioning.
Yep.
And guess what? There's only one source of Eve on the entire planet. It's some weird sea slugs.
Yep.
Until some, I don't remember her name, but some random bitch.
Rosenbaum,
yeah. Has an entire orphanage of little girls who
Yeah.
eventually are used to gather the atom, and the entire city is this big utopia of free-minded thinkers, artists and scientists and other things. But that's in the history when you get there.
Yeah.
That shit's over. Now it's a fucking drug-addled. It's basically Detroit. It's underwater Detroit. I'm sorry.
I don't think anybody was arguing.
Yeah,
no, I know.
If you're somehow listening to this in Detroit, just be honest with yourself. Look out your window. It's a fucking hell dimension out there.
It's Detroit outside. And so you go through the game and you start getting wrapped into some weird shit. You're trapped there. You have no idea to get out, and you're just following with whatever this dude tells you. He's this Irish guy.
Would you kindly?
Yeah. It becomes important later.
Yeah.
Anyway, you continue to gather your weapons and your plasmids and your Eve.
Did you harvest or save?
For the first playthrough, I harvested because I was 12, and I was like, more things.
More power!
And no, after I beat that, I went on the internet and like look through the stuff, and I was like, oh, there's more endings than one.
Yeah.
And then I went through and did it the same way. But like running through fighting these splicers, which are basically crackheads with acrobatic powers.
Yep.
That's about it. With weapons and acrobatics.
They're probably a bit stronger than normal.
Yeah, because they're acrobatic. Yeah, when you...
Well, I mean, not like a human acrobat. They're mutants to a degree.
Yeah, basically. And, you fight a bunch of those for a while, and then you run into a Big Daddy. So the Big Daddy protects the little sister, and the little sister gathers Adam. And Adam is what Big Daddy needs. So, these Big Daddy... Yeah, I know. I know, right?
It's what Big Daddy Shaq needs to complete his rap career.
And so even I think either the intro cinematic or the trailer, I can't remember which one, shows like a random splicer trying to like pull like a caper on a Big Daddy with a couple of those splicer friends, and it just goes horrible. The Big Daddy ain't have none of that. He kills a couple, and you throw a plasma at him, and it gets him for a bit, and then you just get fucking impaled with this like fucking drill, and he turns it on.
Yep.
And I think that's the intro. Not sure.
That I feel like I remember seeing that in a trailer or something.
Might have been trailer.
But I mean, that may also be part of the intro.
Either way, you see that, and then you face your first Big Daddy, and you're like, is my Tommy gun and pistol gonna do anything? Oh, I've got like a fireball plasma and like an electrical... Fuck it, and you go like fight the boogeyman from the fucking trailer. It turns out, yeah, they're like somewhat mini bosses. Not even mini bosses, like elite monsters in today's terms. Like elite creatures, I guess.
just avoided them.
Yeah, well, Bioshock 1 hard to.
Yeah.
And the game is just like, it's perfectly, what's the word for how the story flows in a uniform manner?
Linear?
No, not linear. Like, it flows very well. Like, there's not too many slow parts.
It's very well paced.
Yeah, there we go. It's well paced, very well paced. Like, it goes from like survival horror or like being trapped in this weird area, and you're starting to get introduced into this, and all of a sudden it's like, yeah, I'm fighting a war. Fighting a whole war against these fucking mutants. Holy shit. Like, the first third of the game is survival horror. The second, like, the second third of the game is like action Michael Bay, holy shit.
Yeah.
And like the last third of the game is like some Anne Rice shit. Yeah, it's so good. Like, it's one of those games that can introduce you to a lot of like not just topics, but like gameplay elements. So good. So good.
What'd you think
and
of it?
the twist.
Yeah.
The twist. The best part of the game, which everyone knows a twist by now, is literally a meme.
Yeah.
But
Which you kind of
playing for the first time in 2007, like, that reveal literally hurt me, because I spent a lot of time on that game because I wasn't very good at it when I was that young. I spent a lot of time trying to beat this game, and then I beat it, and I got real mad at the ending.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, but that was so good. But I'm so pissed. Yeah, no, Bioshock is one of those games where it's an experience. It's not, you can't replay Bioshock with any sort of fun. It's a one-time experience.
Yeah.
There's no replayability whatsoever. Like, not really.
Yeah, just go YouTube the other endings.
Yeah, no, and two of them are the same, except the cadence and the speaking is sad or angry, depending, and then the one is the good one. No. And that's my number 5. Sorry, guys, I went on a little too long.
That's cool.
I love
You want to go next?
Sure. Mine's a little vague, but I'll start with this one because it's kind of basic. But Halo as a series.
Yeah.
But
Halo 2 specifically?
Halo Reach specifically.
Ooh, that's a bold claim for you.
My favorite of the Halo games, by far.
Mine too.
No, I shouldn't say by far, because Halo 3 is...
By a margin is what you're saying.
Halo 3 is nipping at the bud. But Halo Reach is probably... Halo game I had the most fun with. I shouldn't say probably. It was the game I had the most fun with.
But just because you get more familiar with more than one Spartan at a time?
Well, the story is very, very good. It's a precursor to everything that happens in the rest of the series.
Reach came out after 3, right?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
Because 3 came out, and then ODST, and
Right,
then Reach
okay.
came out.
3 was 07, and Reach was 10.
Okay, gotcha.
But, I mean, the series as a whole, love it all. I love the main storyline and everything. Halo 4, very underappreciated. I mean, I've gone over a lot of this stuff before.
Yeah.
But,
Can you
Halo
possibly
Reach.
defend Halo 5, though?
Halo Reach... Oh, no, fuck Halo 5.
Oh, nice. Nice. Okay, good.
Yeah,
I could
no,
try, but
they,
I'm not going
they
to.
fucked everything
Don't
up
try.
with Halo 5. It was still fun, but it just wasn't nearly as good, and the story was stupid. I've gone over all of it before.
Yeah.
But Halo Reach, that's a damn good story, and it's a damn good story, and it introduced a lot of new things. Well, or at least built better on other things. So
Yeah.
it started adding the armor abilities and stuff, which
Yeah. Fuck armor lock, but everything else was pretty decent.
yeah, everything else was neat. I just used sprint because
Bubble
I
shield
wasn't
for me.
a piece of shit. but yeah, if you used armor lock in Halo Reach, you're the reason that God cries himself to sleep at night. Nothing else. He doesn't care about the kids getting beheaded in Africa. He could have stopped that years ago. He couldn't stop armor lock in Halo Reach. So, you know.
Yeah.
But just the series as a whole, great. So many good times.
Yeah.
Playing the online with mainly between Halo 3, Halo Reach, and Halo 4 was where I was really active online, like almost every night on it. And man, just even when playing by myself, hooking up with randoms, creating those friendships. There's the whole meme nowadays where it's like,
When you check your Xbox Live membership and see all your friends have been offline
yeah,
for 3, 4,
see
5,
these
6
people,
years.
and you're like, who's this? That's the guy I played with for about 3 months on Halo 4. Like, almost every day we'd play together.
He's
and
been offline for 3 years.
and
Aww.
or not even offline, but he hasn't played the game in 3 years or whatever. Like, we just don't do shit anymore. And,
Yeah.
like, it's fine. It's an online friend, so it's like.
You'll get over it.
But,
You'll get over it.
But it, like, I remember Halo 3, I think is how I first got you into the series, was because I got it, and you started coming over and playing online, and then you played the story. You never liked the online because you were shit at it.
Yeah, I was. I'm just not a competitive person by nature.
But, man,
Love that needler, motherfucker.
when it comes to online games that I've played the most, there's only one that really tops it, and that's it. It's not on my list, even though it's up there. It's probably the game I've played more than any other game ever, which is Left 4 Dead 2.
Yeah.
It's not on my list. It deserves to be because I put
I
more
can't believe
hours.
Left 4 Dead 2 is not in your list.
I've put more hours into that. Man, they're just better. There are better games when it comes to actual it being a game. Left 4 Dead, I've had fun because I play with friends, but like
for like 20,000 years nonstop.
But
yeah.
like if I don't know, the rest of my games are well.
I mean,
I don't know.
I made
For
some
Left 4 Dead, I
emotional
just can't
picks.
put it. It's definitely number one honorary mention, and it probably should be in there. It just isn't.
I feel like it should be number 5, man. Keep going. Keep going. I'm not gonna.
But
argue with the picks.
well, like I said, I'm not exactly raping them.
Oh wow.
Well, I'm
okay.
100% raping.
I slipped up.
I'm
and
not
you
exactly
really slipped.
rating them by 1 through 5
Yeah.
because I can't do that.
He goes
But,
5, 3, 2, 1, 5.
His list is the Devil May Cry timeline. 3, 3, 1, 4, 2,
But-
5.
Halo completely up there in some of the best times ever, and I know I'm citing online stuff
Which
after
it's fine.
after saying Left 4 Dead 2 doesn't count as online stuff or
Yeah.
something, but I mean it's still up there. in Halo is just it's a very important thing. It's a story I really like. Even though I haven't read all the books or anything, the main story of the games, just fucking love it.
The books will give you boners. Read them.
Yeah, I agree with you on Reach, strictly from a storytelling standpoint, because I played the stories of Halos 1 through 3 and ODST before I got into Reach, and the nice thing about Reach was, you get your customized, nameless Spartan, Noble 6 and whatever.
Yeah.
Well,
his name is Noble 6. He's not nameless, you piece of shit.
Whatever. That you get to customize, but the thing is, like, with with 1 through 3, and like you get introduced to Master Chief and what a badass he is. By the time you hit 2 and definitely in 3, you're not even questioning yourself that Master Chief's not gonna lose.
I mean, period. I kind of do. The dangers of the stories increase with every game.
I know, but he's not gonna lose.
He's
it's the same with any video game.
In 3, when I was playing, I was kind of like, if this is the final game, he might die, and I don't know when that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Because at the time, it was the final game.
Yeah. One thing I forgot about Reach was with the online. The biggest thing that made it so dope and partially, not that it needed much to keep me playing, was unlocking all the different armor.
Yeah.
Doing that through commendations and leveling your guy up and just doing all that in the online. That was the biggest part.
Do you remember the pure fear in Halo 3 online when you saw someone with the Hayabusa shit and you're like,
I had the Hayabusa shit.
No,
man.
well, I mean,
it's Hayabusa, by the way.
How about you fuck yourself?
He said it,
also,
so it messed me up.
Fine, first month you're playing. First 2 months we realize, holy shit, that guy's got that armor, I'm dead. That kind of fear.
Halo 3 in the ranked was a lot more serious than Reach in the ranked. Because I feel like you dropped a lot easier in Halo 3 than you did in Reach.
Yeah.
When it came to your rank. You'd get into gold. In Halo 3, I played Lone Wolf a lot.
Yeah.
And I was very good at it. But it was I'm kicking ass, and I get into whatever it fucking was, gold, or, whatever. And then immediately lose 3 games and just get bumped back down to gold fucking 1 or whatever was the one that would rank up next to regular just full on gold.
Yeah.
And it'd be fuck. I was kicking so much ass and then I just got here and then they were like, hey, welcome to die.
Yeah.
Welcome to hell.
But Halo, great.
Yeah. And with Reach, there was... I kind of knew what was going to happen to Reach because I read the books. I just didn't know how it was going to happen. But there was that slight thing in the back of your mind. Well, this character is never mentioned ever again.
This character might survive.
Yeah, but at the same time, they could lose.
This is a prequel and doesn't show up in any of the other games.
Because you got to remember, at the time that Reach came out, if you haven't... I don't even think there might have been some books.
Oh, there were
books.
But if you've never read the books and you play Halo 3, you got to Reach... And at that time, before you played Reach, Master Chief, if you only play the games, was the only Spartan left.
Yeah.
In the games, the way they reference him, the only Spartan left, period. You play Reach, you expect all the Spartans left that were probably on Reach, is how they went and stayed.
Yeah, that's how
then you see one Spartan leave on the fucking not vertebrae.
I think you had to beat it on No, you just had to beat it and could look over, or did you have to beat it on Legendary?
I mean, I saw that shit while I was playing on normal.
Yeah, there was a cutscene where you for one instance you could control the camera and look over to the left and you would see Chief in a cryopod.
Yeah. No, that's not what I'm talking about. I mean there is a Spartan at the end of Reach that gets into the flying thing that escapes.
Yeah, June.
Yeah, but at that time, you expected every last Spartan to die on Reach if you only play the games, because you're okay, 1 through 3, Master Chief's the only one. This game has some more Spartans. They all die at the end, but then you see that one escape, and you're okay, so...
Well, also...
How did he die?
Real quick lore tidbit. All of those, except for George, were Spartan 3s, not Spartan 2s like Master Chief. And Spartan 2s were better than Spartan 3s.
Yeah. Spartan 2s, that's in the 5th game... where you have a team with you and they're making new Spartans.
Yeah, your entire team.
But they aren't doing the same thing.
Those are
that
Spartan
they did.
4s.
Yeah, and those ones are pussy bitches.
Yeah, those are
Aren't
just
Spartan
those
4s
are just
the
like-
fucking factory line.
They're
ones?
just like put a Marine into the suit.
yeah, they're
basically.
unaugmented humans who get newer Mjolnir armor.
As opposed to like
Master Chief, where he's
fucking Master Chief Spartans taken from the womb and injected with everything until they grow to
like titanium bones
8
and
feet
shit.
tall and are just
Yeah, like
which is why I think Master Chief would destroy General Grievous.
which
I'm
is
sorry.
why Master Chief didn't need that team and those guys were only holding him back.
yeah,
Like really, the only thing those guys did was hold him back.
yeah.
Like he's just saving them sometimes.
maybe socialization slightly.
Which is also why like Locke being a badass and stuff.
Oh
cool,
boy, here we go. I
cool,
totally agree with
cool,
Noodle here.
Yeah.
but also like
Fuck you,
Master
how
Chief
fucking
would
dare
fucking
you?
would have. Oh, did you crack his helmet, Locke? Fuck
Oh,
you.
you got his visor?
Master
Fuck
Chief
you.
would have just grabbed you by the neck and ripped your throat out. Like
Yeah.
if he wanted to. So that's the whole thing where he must have been holding back.
Yeah.
All right. Now, done with Halo. You next. We're spending too much time.
Okay,
on
I was,
shit.
about, I was about to lose
Yeah.
my shit too.
All right, so my number 5 pick is Monster Hunter World.
You're getting Ez from both of us.
Well, I know that. I know.
You
that.
But
have spent a lot of
I
time.
also actually play it.
Yeah.
I
But
understand
Top
your
5
your
games
love
to
for
show
it.
to someone who's never played a video game. Really, Monster Hunter World?
Yes. Like, especially now that we're in, like, the Iceborne phase and they're, like, getting a whole bunch of, like, new shit. Like, it was, like, when Monster Hunter World came out, it was a 7 out of 10. Like, it was good. I spent a lot of time with it. And then it keeps getting, like, free updates and shit. And now it's probably bumped up to, like, an 8.5, maybe a 9. But the reason I would introduce this to someone, it's a fun game. The gameplay loop is great. Like, yes, it's still grindy, but they've streamlined the grind to the point where it's, like, not boring anymore. It's actually fun to go out and, like, fight monsters, try new shit, and all that stuff. It's just a good, fun game that I've put almost 1,000 hours into now. Like, it's...
And
1,000 fucking
if
hours.
you've listened to
Okay.
this, you know my thoughts on Monster Hunter, right?
Yeah.
No, like,
I like the idea and the
I am
concept,
the-
but in practice, I don't
That's
enjoy
why
it.
I am the mediator. I
Okay.
play some. I don't play a lot.
I've got nothing else to say about it.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
gotta say.
Noodle doesn't give a fuck about it.
No,
I
not at all.
really like it, but I don't think it deserves to be on a top 5 list of anyone, except if you put over 1,000 hours into it, which means you truly love the game.
I do.
Which is why I'm giving it to you, and it's no problem. Like,
Yeah.
I get it. Like, it's basically, this is your hook for me. Like, I was thinking, like, Hook should not be number 1, but it is.
Yeah. Like, because, like I said, there's a lot to this game outside of, like, just, like, yes, killing monsters, getting their parts and shit is the main gameplay loop, but there's so much to do and so many different ways to play the game. Like, I keep trying to get Noodle to play it even though he won't, but, like...
I understand why.
Like, I've watched you play Monster Hunter on 3DS, I've watched my friend Zach play, like, the 3DS and the Wii games, and, like, the grind in those ones, I couldn't handle it.
It's rough.
I couldn't. But they've streamlined it so much.
I will say it does look better on console.
Yeah. They've streamlined the grind.
Instead of hunting one monster 37 times, you can hunt like 4 and get most of what you need.
Yeah. And,
Or all of what you need if you get them 4 or 5 times. No.
yeah, and they streamlined it even further with that, because, like, you get login bonuses if you're playing online every time you come in, and you get these things called vouchers that basically increase the drop rate of stuff from monster hunts. And you get, like, 1 per day, and you can hold a maximum of 5. So it's like, oh yeah, like, you know, I've got almost all the armor, and there's, like, a really rare drop from this one monster that I still need. It's not happening. You can just use a voucher on that mission, and you're pretty much guaranteed to get that one drop.
No.
It's so much better than it used to be.
So they balanced out the grinding, where it's like you're not going to spend like 10,000 hours like you used to on Vanilla Classic.
It does look so much better on console. It looks more like the game that I've always wanted to be on console, because I bought 3 versions of the game on 3DS to play with my buddies and spent at least 40 to 50 hours on each of them and just hated it. It's just I was just bad at it because I hadn't played the other games before, and I also was only playing it so that I could play it with friends at work, and so it was just like I don't really care about this game this much. So my heart wasn't into getting good at it.
Yeah.
And part of getting good at it is knowing all this shit. Like fucking
Pokemon.
knowing exactly... No, Pokemon, all you gotta know is types. That's all. You just gotta know types.
I mean, at a competitive level, there's lots of other facets to
Okay,
it.
sure.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about at this point, like max level shit.
But you could still be fine at Pokemon without knowing all that. But fucking, it was just like, I'd go on a mission with my friend, and he'd be like, "Oh, you don't have this thing? Why don't you have this thing?" I don't know. Was I supposed to? Like, I fucking have no... I don't know how to play this game properly, and I'm not going to sit there and read shit. You've been playing it since fucking the first Monster Hunter on the fucking Wii and PSP and whatever. Like, or PS2, I think, was probably the first one.
Yeah, I think it was PS2.
Like, I have not, and I also am not going to learn what every one of these items... It's the same thing with fighting games, where it's just like, no, I'm not going to sit here and do this.
Yeah,
like, I'm not going to sit here and practice, so I'm not going to sit here and research exactly how I'm supposed to do this. I'm just not going to, because that sucks the fun out of it for me.
Yeah, they cut down a lot on that in Monster Hunter.
In Monster Hunter World, it's like I have no idea what I'm doing, and I still have fairly decent shit. Yeah. I have literally no idea everything I get is from him, like every several weeks. Yeah. And I'm still doing good.
It was the same with me and Jake, where it was just like, Jake would be like, "Okay, so exactly what you need to do. You need to come fight this monster with me, and this monster with me, and this monster with me." And like every now and then he'd throw in like "Oh, this is how you do a combo with that weapon," or whatever, and I'd be like, "Okay." And I'd do it, and my guy wouldn't do that combo, and I'd be like, "What am I doing wrong?" And he'd be like, "Look, you just do this." And I'd be like, "Okay, so I just do this?" And he's like, "No." And I'm like, "I just did exactly what the fuck you did." Like, what the fuck? Why does it was just one of those, just, I'm too retarded to play this game.
Yeah, like, I will never play the Wii or the PSP versions of that game, because like I said, I've seen them get played, and they're miserable compared to Monster Hunter World. Yeah. And it's so nice, like, I was watching my friend Zach, like, try to track down a monster for probably, like, a good 20 minutes before he finally found it, and then it just fucked off to a new area, and he had to go through, like, a loading screen to get to the new area and, like, repeat the whole fucking process.
Well, normally, I did learn some stuff. Hitting them with a paintball, you always want to buy paintballs to bring with you.
Yeah, there's no more of that.
They last for a certain amount of time on the 3DS versions. So you hit them with a paintball, and then you can see where they are in the map. But every time you go to... The zones in the map are labeled like 1 through 10 or whatever.
Yeah.
So you can see, oh, it went through this shortcut from zone 9 to zone 5. And I can't go through that shortcut, so now I'm just fucking running over there to find him. Yeah.
There's no more of that. In World, like, yes, you do have to, like, find tracks, but that's really easily. Like, if you're in an area with tracks, they'll get highlighted. And, like, the more you hunt one monster, the better you get at tracking it.
Yeah, okay.
So, like, where I'm at in the game now, I've hunted, like, everything so many times that I just drop into a map, and my fucking scout flies, which guide you to the monster, instantly just like, "Oh, monster's over there, go get it." It's like, dope. Like, it's very easy to learn Monster Hunter World versus learning all the other ones. Yeah. Like, just... If you want an entry point into Monster Hunter, take Monster Hunter World. It's the best one.
If it makes you feel better, I have never once played Monster Hunter World while sober, so you can learn your shit, and it's fun.
Yeah, that's why it's number 5 on my list, because it's a great entry point. You don't really have to worry about story or anything. I'm not gonna say
what story. They're literally I still don't know what the story is. I still don't. Like, it seems so hinged upon the fact that you played previous games that you know what the fuck's happening in general.
Not really.
Yeah, there's like 4 fleets before you.
Yeah.
Like, well, that's a lot of fucking fleets going to the same place that you just arrive at.
I want to hear Jimmy's number 4. We're gonna keep arguing about Monster Hunter forever.
Skyrim. Fucking suck my dick. Skyrim is an amazing game.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It just is.
I'm not arguing.
I'm not going to argue that either.
I know. I'm arguing with the audience right now because I know there's that one little cunt over there who's like, Morrowind. Yeah, Morrowind is a great game. Played it too. Guess what? I don't have to rely on luck to hit something that I swung my sword at. So suck my giant non-RNG dick.
I thought you were going to say non-Argonian.
I almost did. I almost did.
I was right there with you. I was like,
Yeah, no.
Dick Scaly, Jimmy?
A little bit.
Oh, should get that checked.
Skyrim is such a meme at this point, it almost kind of makes me feel shameful for saying it.
It's a good game.
I know, but it's been 8 years. And at this point, it's such a meme that, like, when someone says, yeah, Skyrim's one of my favorite games, and you're just like, oh, yeah, Mayik the liar, you telling some shit. Yeah, that kind of stuff. And it's like, no.
Because you did nothing. Because you is innocent of this crime.
So, just...
Because you'd have wares if you
have coin.
Yeah, the whole thing. Even Amber Lynn sends me that shit.
Yeah. No, it is a great game. It's not my favorite of the Elder Scrolls series, but it's still a great game.
It's mine.
And
I've played I played Oblivion for hundreds of hours.
Fuck ESO, by the way.
I've never played, and I've heard it's gotten better. I've heard it's gotten much better.
I also, when I got the PS4 that got stolen, Elder Scrolls Online,
that was
I
a
still
very
have
interesting
it.
nightmare.
I played Elder Scrolls Online, and it just played like an Elder Scrolls game. It was just, there were other people running around too. I did not think it was bad in any way, shape, or form. But this was also not on release, and
this was exactly. Later on, it got much better.
So,
kind of like No Man's Sky.
Yeah, hey, I love No Man's Sky. I mean, I loved it at the start, and I didn't mind it at the start.
Okay,
it's fine. It was
they
chill.
did lie a lot.
Yeah.
But
I just enjoyed exploring.
But yeah, every single person knows exactly what I was talking about. Skyrim is Skyrim.
Yeah.
You
It's a great
absolutely
game.
played it.
It's a great game.
It is.
And memes aside, it really was. In 2000, I was in line for that game November 10th, 11:45.
Yeah, you were in the same line I was in, but I was further up than you because we got there first.
Yeah, I was
Probably.
there.
I was like seventh
you and
or
Kenny,
eighth
I
in
think.
line.
There was someone else there too.
I'm pretty sure it was Kenny.
No. Besides Kenny,
Oh.
Kenny was there with us. Yeah.
Do you remember when someone hooked up all the audio systems in the fucking electronic section to play the Skyrim theme song?
No.
Because I was at Walmart. Where were you?
I do remember that. Yeah.
Were you at Freddy's?
No, I was at Walmart.
Yeah, we were.
You don't remember when they played the Skyrim theme song
I don't know.
overall?
It was a long time ago too.
I was also there for like 6 hours, and I was sitting there playing Pokemon on DS with my headphones in, so I probably wasn't paying much attention.
A bunch of us dragged a bunch of chairs from the home department, and we're just sitting in them.
Yep.
Yeah.
There were like 2 people in line in front of us.
Yeah.
In front of our group. 2 people had got there before us.
Yep.
But great game.
Yeah.
Not any sort of debate there at all.
Nope.
People
kind of changed.
People fucking meme it, but fuck that.
Because it's been so long.
It's a great. Well, and because they keep releasing it on every single thing, and then
almost
now
as if they should.
Now it's Well,
the remaster is all we need.
A million times people keep buying it, so who the fuck cares? It's not like it's a bad business model.
Yeah, like if
people can make fun of them as much as they want, but they're still making money off this game they released fucking 8 years ago.
I honestly don't care if someone gets hooked on Skyrim from the deluxe
today.
Today. Like Kaylee.
Today someone could play. Yep, Kaylee's a good example. Like Dylan could get into fucking vanilla, no update Skyrim today, and I'd be like, "You're getting into some good shit, kid."
Yeah. No, I remember Kaylee, my sister, kind of sister.
It was a couple months ago when she started.
Yeah, when she got really into it, and she's not really a gamer, and this is my basic adoptive sister, and she's not really a gamer. She has a few hardcore games that she will play constantly, like God of War. I think one other, Spyro, God of War, and one other one. But a few months ago, she started playing Skyrim, and she knows that I am the Skyrim in her life anyway.
Yeah.
And most other people's life, except for I'm kind of in the Skyrim in her life, the one that she knows that I am in love with Skyrim, and I know pretty much everything about it. And so, even if we don't talk for a while, she'll just randomly like text me a question about Skyrim, and I'm like, yeah, this whole thing. And she'll be like, what, why though? And I'll like give her the lore reason.
Do you not have Google? Just fucking Google it, bitch.
But she wants to talk to me about it.
He is her Google when it comes to Skyrim.
Yeah, exactly. Like, of course she could Google it, but she wouldn't want. She wants to talk to me at the same time, so she'll like ask me questions and stuff. And she was like, "How do you join the Dark Brotherhood?" Which, a valid question if you're a good person when you start playing Skyrim and you don't have the idea of murdering regular people.
Yeah.
Good question. Good question. My sister, awesome person. I had to tell her.
You can do that. Never mind.
Well, you have to murder someone for no reason.
Well, no, not for no reason. You just have to murder someone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's no real.
So
reason
if you
to murder
start
someone.
up another guild, you end up murdering someone, then it pretty much happens anyway.
It sorts itself out eventually.
Or am I thinking Oblivion?
Yeah, you're thinking Oblivion.
Yeah, 'cause you have
Because
to do
in
the quest for
Skyrim, you have to murder a civilian for like no real reason. You can't just like go assassinate a bandit chief for a quest for the Fighters Guild.
Or you do the quest.
No, not a bandit. Not like a.
Or you do the quest for the little kid who's trying to summon the Dark Brotherhood, and that everyone's talking about.
That's the way I always.
Then you go kill Grella.
No, but you have to kill someone to gain access to that quest.
Do you?
Yes.
Really? Because I just walked in. Like I got to.
I bet you it can happen that way too.
I got to Winterhold.
Okay, no, real quick. In Oblivion, you have to kill someone.
Yes.
In Skyrim, you have to go to Aretino Aventus.
Yep, him.
Yeah.
In Oblivion, you just kind of kill someone, and the next time you go to
Yeah,
sleep,
switch that shit up. Fuck.
the next time you go to sleep when you wake up,
Lucian LeChance visits you. Oh, and my god, his return in Skyrim,
Yeah.
I had the biggest boner.
Yep.
Like, his death in Oblivion, because I played Oblivion when I was like 10.
Andy, I bet you it wasn't the biggest boner.
It was like the third biggest boner. And,
Whatever, don't worry about it.
like,
I mean, on a
when you play
global
Oblivion
scale.
and you do the Dark Brotherhood quest and shit, like, Lucian LeChance is like your boy.
Yep.
And he gets murdered. And you're like, oh no, my boy.
I think
And-
you meant moitered.
Moited.
Moited.
Yeah.
He got moited.
Murdered.
And he's like your boy. And you're like, ah, shit. And then you play Skyrim and you eventually unlock him as like a summon. And you're like,
Yeah.
holy shit. And then
It's
he,
so cool.
he comments on like modern shit. He's like, Dark Brotherhood's a fucking shadow of what used to been. Or like, he'll comment on like specific characters and
Also,
shit.
fucking what's his name? Cicero.
Cicero.
the jester.
Oh my god, Cicero.
Good shit, man. I mean, it doesn't. The Dark Brotherhood quest in that game still probably
Pales in comparison to
one
Oblivion.
of the best quest lines in Skyrim, but still, yeah, pales in comparison to Oblivion.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dark
Oblivion's
Brotherhood.
Dark Brotherhood is just like, because Skyrim's Dark
Where's
Brotherhood is
your
literally
killing
it's
other
the
Dark Brotherhood?
scraps of the Dark Brotherhood in Skyrim.
Yeah.
It's literally the last surviving members, and they kind of all suck,
Yep.
except for I can't remember his name. It's killing me. It's the Red Guard.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that guy.
Oh, Blackie McGee.
Jesus.
That doesn't gotta be censored out. Come on, it was a joke. And there was no slurs, nothing.
All right, Noodle, what's your number 4?
Yeah,
All right,
yeah.
number 4.
Skyrim's the shit. Now it's Noodle's turn.
Yep.
I'm gonna go with another basic one before I mix some stuff up because I can see what your number 3 is, and I'm gonna
boy.
expand on that
That's
for
gonna be a
mine.
thing.
That's fine.
So, for me, the N64 Zelda games, Ocarina
Oh
of
my
Time,
boy.
and
You
Majora's
just destroyed
Mask.
one of my fucking choices. I have to think of something on the fly now.
No,
Thank
you can join in.
No,
But-
because I have to pick.
But because I don't want this to take up too many spots, I'm going to count it as one, and I'm also going to put the other type of Zelda game, Link to the Past, in there as well.
Okay.
Fuck you.
So the 64 games and Link to the Past as one choice.
Yeah.
So Link to the Past being the number 1 top-down Zelda game, and the 64 Zelda games, Majora's Mask and Ocarina of Time being those ones.
Yeah. Those are great.
Which I don't think there's much controversy with that in
No,
any way, shape,
Majora's
or
Mask
form.
is the best.
Everybody knows, like, Ocarina of Time almost always gets like number 1 game of all time
the
on
starting
every
screen.
list.
Oh.
And for good reason. for good reason, because it's very good.
Yeah.
Like I was saying last week, I was just bored playing Ocarina of Time, but I was playing it on 3DS, and there's not only new quests, but there's also like stuff that I hadn't done before. Just little quests that are just stupid bullshit quests that do nothing.
Like bring me a cricket or return the chicken to me.
That I just hadn't done when I was younger. Yeah. And so Ocarina of Time is great, and I don't think much needs to be said about it. Majora's Mask, however, that shit needs to be said about that game.
There's a lot of shit that needs to be said. My God, I know, right?
Okay. It's the same as Ocarina of Time, in which the shit's already been said, but I like talking about Majora's Mask.
So does.
It's so much darker and so much creepier. Like, you start off
there are real fucking stakes.
With fucking Link being transformed into a fucking freak.
Deku scrub.
Into a freak. He's not
yeah.
even an actual Deku even. And there's the whole thing. So after you get transformed during your first little, like, where you go in the flowers and pop out and you can glide, you can go to one side where you can't go anywhere, but there's a shriveled up Deku scrub. And very much speculated that Skull Kid, like, stole that Deku scrub's soul in order to curse you.
Yeah.
Make you a Deku. There is so much dark shit in that game, and besides the fact the masks actually doing something, because there were masks in Ocarina of Time, but they didn't do shit.
Yeah.
It was part of the trade quest to get Bigoron's sword.
Yep.
But in this game,
this one, you do that, then you can get the Goron mask, where you roll fast and you're big and strong, but it's slow. I fucking hate
Can't swim.
I fucking hate the Goron mask. It's awful.
It's pretty bad, yeah.
Like,
it's good for
it has
one
its
boss
uses,
level.
but otherwise, what you really want is the Zora mask.
The Zora.
Because the Zora mask. But there's so many masks to collect, and the fucking mask dude in the tower is fucking freaky as shit and weird.
Super weird.
And you have the terrifying moon, which, listen, the moon's freaky, but I feel like people
over-freak it.
Like,
it's pretty freaky.
Like, the thing is, you think about it, if you looked up and the moon was doing that at you...
Yeah, fuck you. You're dead.
That's fucking terrifying. But, I mean, it's a game, and I've seen it forever, so whatever.
I think it was you used to freak me out by just staring at the moon until it crashed into the fucking world. Because you knew it creeped me out.
Well, I knew when, like, I'd be on the third day and I'd be at the watchtower. Yeah, I'd do that too.
Yeah.
But, that game I'm a lot less familiar with than Ocarina of Time.
Yeah, I've only beaten Majora's Mask twice.
I beat Majora Mask 3 times. First 2 times were not the perfect ending, but I was younger.
Yeah, when I played it, I actually had to, like, print off an internet guide for it because I couldn't figure out what the fuck to do.
My dad helped me the first 2 times I beat the game, and the third time I had internet help, and so I beat it, like, where you collect all the masks, which, by the way, like, if you're a watcher who beat this game around the time it actually came out, fucking bless you, because getting
figuring
out
masks completely
is
yourself
some stupid bullshit.
Nobody did that on their, like, first run.
Yeah.
Someone had to figure this shit out.
Maybe. Well, no. I mean, on their first run through the game.
No,
like, their first time playing it. Nobody
somewhere had to discover this shit for people to find out about.
I'm just saying nobody on their first playthrough got all the masks.
Oh, yeah, no, never.
Unless they were using a player's guide.
Well, but...
And those were real things, like Nintendo Power and shit.
Anyway.
Yeah, but they didn't normally come out like that back then.
Oh, you could special order guides from Nintendo Power. Which, thankfully, when the internet hit and GameFAQs became a thing.
But that's not what we were talking about. That doesn't count.
I know.
Majora's Mask is just... It's just better than Ocarina of Time.
Well, something had to
be... I don't agree with you on it being better. I agree with it being equal.
No, and when it comes to gameplay options, like it change. Like
I feel like this is gonna be a long argument.
It won't.
It's like Ocarina of Time with more options.
The
Same quality of storytelling. There are multiple endings. There are like different choices you can make. Like there are characters other than Zelda and Link that get focused on.
Different mechanics, but also similar mechanics because you do the same time travel type stuff. And
I mean, like if I were to leave Ocarina of Time and walk out of the room for like 2 hours, nothing would happen. If I did that with Majora's Mask, hey, game's over.
Okay, but why
That's a different mechanic. That's an entirely different mechanic.
Okay, sure. I just mean I see them as different but equal. It's different. It's different time travel mechanics, but still the same type of thing. Ocarina of Time has stuff Majora's Mask doesn't. Majora's Mask has stuff that.
What does Ocarina of Time have that Majora's Mask doesn't?
Better dungeons.
Is Zelda herself in Majora's Mask?
Huh?
No.
Okay, so Zelda.
Yeah.
I mean,
Plus, you'd never fight Ganon.
Yeah, well, Majora is fucking oof. That's an oof.
yeah.
This is literally a spin-off from the main timeline of the Zelda stories.
Well,
I know that.
It's a direct sequel to.
But I know, but it's the spin-off of the. It's Ganon being the thing. That's what, like, I always categorize it as
It's Ganon being dead and
being either dead or alive.
Well,
but in Majora's Mask,
this is this Link. He's dead.
Yeah.
Timeline
Timeline shit.
So, Link to the Past, though.
Yeah.
Best of the top-down Zeldas with the Oracle's games being right behind that because Oracle of Seasons and Ages.
I really enjoyed those.
Man, they're so good. You get the little buddy pals in those ones. The kangaroo and the like rhino and the swimming guy. The polar bear. And I mean, if I would put like the original Zelda, but it's not as accessible. It's not as easy. If you don't know what you're doing, it's a lot more guesswork and a lot more trouble because if you don't know where the secrets are, you're sitting there getting fuel for your lamp to just burn every tree and then go kill more enemies and then burn every tree in that part. And it's way more of a pain if you don't know exactly what you're doing. Whereas in Link to the Past, you at least have a set path. Like, you can explore a bit, but you can't go too far in one direction until you do one thing. It guides you a little bit more and lets you make more sense of it. And besides the fact, you have the whole Dark World aspect where you turn into a bunny, and you just have it's very mwah. Link to the Past is very mwah.
Yeah.
Mwah.
So why don't you go? Because I'm just rambling now.
All right. So for my number 4, I'm breaking my own rule for this one.
Yeah.
And
I'm surprised at this.
Yeah.
Honestly.
My number
Although
4.
it looks amazing.
Yeah. My number 4 is Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, which I won't go. Do you guys mind spoilers at all?
Have you beat the
Nah.
game?
Yes.
Nah, I don't mind spoilers.
Okay.
It'll be a minute before I can buy it. So
Yeah.
it's fine.
So I'm not gonna the gameplay's good, the graphics are good, the story's good. I have my issues with the very, very end, but whatever. I'm putting this on the list for one very specific scene that happens at the very, very end of the game.
Oh boy, you better be strong, dude.
Oh, it is. It gives you a very stark reminder of something people often forget. When it comes to combat and fighting, Darth Vader's a fucking monster of an opponent.
Okay.
So at the very end,
insanely strong and skilled.
Yeah. So at the very end,
He was insanely good at dueling with lightsabers.
Yeah, real quick segue. It's been confirmed by George Lucas and a bunch of other writers that if Anakin or Vader had reached his full potential, he would have been able to defeat Yoda and Palpatine simultaneously.
Yeah, well, he's full of shit because Vader cannot reach his full potential because he has robotic limbs.
If Anakin hadn't got chopped up and he had just gone fucking Sith, is basically
even
what
then,
it means.
no, Yoda would have whooped him. Sorry,
Like
George Lucas went off his rocker with the.
It's a thing we can talk about later, but if Anakin had reached his full potential as the Chosen One, then he would have been able to simultaneously defeat Palpatine.
If he was at his,
He would have been fighting the most evil and the most good. So
Yeah.
it's
balance it out, I guess.
it's a fucking meme, anyways.
Yeah.
There's
So
no
just-
situation in which he would have been doing that, but he would have been able.
Yes, that's the point I was getting at. So,
Just use the restroom, dude.
oh, he probably wants to hear what I have to say, but
Yeah.
anyway, so the story is you're after this holocron that has a list of Force-sensitive children, and the whole point is to find this thing, keep it out of Empire hands, and you're constantly getting chased by Inquisitors. So at the end of the game, you throw down with the second sister, who, I'm not going to get into her plot, it's not important, but she's an Inquisitor. So the point is, you're playing as this guy named Cal Kestis, who starts out his journey, he's a Padawan with incomplete training, and by the end of the game, he's able to fight a Sith Inquisitor to a standstill, so super badass guy.
Yeah.
So at the end of the fight, they're both catching their breath, and I actually had to watch this scene again because I was playing with the sound low because I have a baby. So the second sister just stops what she's doing and just like goes pale in the face and just stands really still like something's scaring the shit out of her. And when I watched it again, it's because you hear Darth Vader's breathing in the background. And he just strolls into the room, looks at her, and says, "You failed me again, Inquisitor," and just murders her in cold blood right there.
Nice.
So then you have a fight against Vader. And Vader is, like, not even trying. He's, like, dueling you one-handed with his lightsaber, slapping Cal around, not giving a shit. And, you get these little blurbs every time you, like, scan a creature with your droid or go into a boss fight that you access in the pause menu, and it gives you, like, a little tactical blurb about how to fight them. The entry for Vader is, there's no winning this fight. Running is the only option for survival.
Nice.
So you start running from Vader, and literally just by the Force alone starts tearing apart the base that you're fighting him in. And he's constantly chasing you, and you get to this underground, like, not underground, underwater, like, glass tunnel. Like, people have seen those. So in order to escape, Cal and his quote-unquote Jedi Master that he linked up with, they basically blow up part of the tunnel and swim out. So all these hundreds and thousands of gallons of water are rushing in, and Vader just straight stonewalls it with the Force and just fucking stares at you as you're swimming away.
Which, by the way, the main character in that game is Ian from Shameless.
Yeah. No, he does a very good job.
Yeah. He's a very good
I
actor.
have no idea who that is, so that's why I
Ian,
was jokingly.
you've seen Shameless.
I've seen like 3 episodes.
You've talked to me about Shameless. What?
Yeah, because I've seen like
Ian, the
certain-
redheaded gay guy from Shameless. Okay, either way.
No. I think I got him.
Either way, I have heard that it's very good, and it's compared to like the Dark Souls games with the combat.
Well, it's more Sekiro than Dark Souls.
Yep, but not as hard.
I've heard that most people like this game because it's EA not charging you money to play it if you already bought it.
Yeah, which is nice, but yeah, no.
Yeah, a nice little side bonus, right? Side bonus. It shouldn't be a.
Well, hopefully
integral
this
part
game
of
is going to
games.
make EA rethink their business model, but
Yeah,
probably
it's not
not.
going to.
All right, Jimmy, you're number 4.
Yeah.
I thought I did my number 4. Yeah, I did Bioshock and
Skyrim.
Skyrim. Yeah,
So
I'm
we're
number
back
3.
to you. Yeah, we're on number 3.
Yeah,
Oh.
I said number 4.
Yeah, so real quick, Fallen Order, great game. I put it on there just for that one scene of a stark reminder that Vader's a fucking monster.
Okay.
Because people tend to forget that shit. Somehow. I don't understand how, but this game will fucking remind you.
So, for number 3 for me, is gonna be Jet Set Radio Future.
Yeah.
I haven't played this, but I've heard a lot.
You've watched me play it a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
It was on the original Xbox and the Dreamcast.
Dogen Zaka, who?
And it's a rollerblading game.
Yep.
Sounds lame initially, but there's a whole spray paint mechanic. You normally spray paint areas to take them over, and spray paint enemies to take them out. You can do all sorts of tricks while on the rail and build up speed and jump. You also unlock a whole bunch of different characters that you can play as, and there's also a whole plot to it, where it's basically there's an oppressive police force that's just trying to control anyone, and you're kind of trying to control everyone, and you're kind of fighting back against them.
Yeah.
So you're steadily doing that by spray painting shit.
Yeah.
As one does.
Yeah,
and,
as one does, yes.
And you also fight the police with spray paint, and also rival gangs with spray paint. And it turns out the main character, spoiler alert, ends up getting mind controlled and becomes a bad guy, and he's like the last guy you have to face. But it just, the way the game plays is where it really becomes special, because it is so just beautifully flowing, and like the camera can get a little bit wonky at times.
Yeah.
I'll say that. But otherwise, it's one of the most satisfying games I've ever played when it comes to just, once you nail it, once you start getting good at it, you just fucking flow. And you're just cruising past shit, grinding on rails, hitting jumps while you're spray painting shit and doing all sorts of tricks. And it is one of the most satisfying games I've ever played.
Yeah.
It's a very, truly special game.
I think it might have been you that said it, I'm not sure, but without Jet Set Radio and without Tony Hawk, we wouldn't have Sunset Overdrive.
Exactly. And Sunset Overdrive, I feel like, is very much a spiritual successor to Jet Set Radio Future.
Yeah.
Jet Grind Radio was the first one, and that one fucking sucks. It doesn't suck, it's still fun, it's just, if you play Jet Set Radio Future, which I did first, it came packaged with the original Xbox, and then you go and play Jet Grind Radio.
Oof.
It's just like, oh god, I don't want to play this.
Yeah.
Because you can't do like tricks on the rail. Because you'll do tricks on rails to build up speed, and do tricks in the air, all this stuff. Where on that one, you're just sitting there going,
Yeah.
It's just unfortunate. But that'll be my number 3.
All right.
Although I'm going to share my number 2 with you on your number 3, but part of the whole series.
Okay.
So we'll be able to skip my number 2.
All right. Jimbo?
Fallout New Vegas.
Agree.
I have
Agreeable.
spent
Good stuff.
more hours on Fallout New Vegas than I've spent on any other video game. Sometimes by choice, sometimes by necessity, depending on what games I had and what I didn't. And that fluctuated a lot. So Fallout New Vegas is probably the perfect Fallout game. I mean, and I am considering Fallout 1 through Fallout 4. Like, the first 2 and technically the third game, but Fallout Tactics is trash. So
I was about to ask if you played Fallout Tactics, and if you did you know that Riddick is a recruitable character
Yeah, I
in
don't
that
care.
game?
I literally do not care.
Okay, fair enough.
Fallout 1 and 2, great games. Fallout 3,
Good for its
pretty
time.
damn good.
Yeah.
It's Oblivion with guns.
Yeah.
And then New Vegas.
Yeah.
Ah.
I really feel like you would love Outer Worlds if you ever get a
Yeah,
chance
no,
to play
I know. It's the same fucking people. I
Yeah.
know. It's Obsidian.
it. Yep.
And so Fallout New Vegas is probably the game with the most possible endings, period.
Yeah.
And almost everything you do has like a consequence or like a positive thing that happens. Like everything. And it has such a replayability. Like Fallout 4 and Fallout 3 have replayability, but Fallout 3 you have one mission to beat the game.
Yeah.
Boom, over. Fallout 4, You can either side with the Railroad, you can side with the Minutemen, you can side with the Brotherhood, you can side with Institute.
Yeah.
And those are the 4 endings.
Yep.
Fallout New Vegas has like 37. Like 37 endings. Or probably even more. Because it's the last Fallout game that has like the screen by screen ending explaining what happens to like every fucking faction.
Yeah.
And depending on what you do with that faction, like the story is so flexible that like you could if I was stuck on an island for literally all eternity, I would pick Fallout New Vegas just because it has the most amount of endings I can think of and would be the least boring video game I can think of technically.
Yeah.
I think it'd definitely be like a Bethesda game for me too. Just stuck on an island, like a Skyrim or a Fallout, just because of how much
so
shit.
much stuff you can
There's
do.
so much shit in it. Like even Oblivion, it's like I did almost everything in that game, thousands of hours, but there were still little quests I'd find from time to time. Where it's like I never did this.
How long did it take for you to run into the quest where you have to rescue the little village from the goblins?
Oh, that went pretty quick. But that's just happening.
I didn't run into that for 4 years. Yeah. That shit popped up and I thought it was part of an update. And it turns out it was just a vanilla thing that I never ran into.
Yeah, no, because I did a thing in Oblivion where I went and found every location and just went up and down the map for just fucking forever.
Do you mean
to where I could have the zoomed in map and every spot would be filled in?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because my parents were getting divorced and I was just like, yep, I'm just gonna sit here and do this.
Yeah, and my parents should have got divorced, but they didn't, so I sat here and did this.
Yeah, exactly.
Good pick.
All right.
Oh no, real quick. I don't want to just like say like Fallout New Vegas is great. The story is so like in depth. Like the writing is insane. It had the most lines of dialogue / like story elements of any game until then. And I think for many games after then, like there is just so much. Like Oblivion, you can run to like a few things you haven't played before. And Skyrim takes even longer. And but like Fallout New Vegas has so many endings, so many characters, so many things you can do differently to get slightly different endings, and it's just.
And don't forget Wacky Wasteland.
Yeah, and that just kind of changes the game like a little bit.
Yeah,
like a good bit.
Yeah.
And wait,
and then the add-ons. My God,
wasn't New Vegas the first one to have the
Wacky Wasteland?
No, the super serious mode. The
hardcore.
The hardcore survival mode.
Yeah, no.
I think so.
Yeah, it was hardcore in New Vegas and survival in Fallout 4.
Right,
yeah.
okay.
And it was the first one. And
so I mean,
an
you
entirely
could play that
new,
infinitely.
Yeah.
You could, because there's an entire different skill for like the hardcore specifically. It's called Outdoorsman. And it makes it where you can craft and do more shit, like specifically for your survival character, because you gotta starve to death.
I would say the perfect game would be
Skyrim.
New Vegas with all of its like making bullets and everything, plus everything from Fallout 4 when it comes to base building. So you could just build bases and have all this other shit going too. That would just that would do it.
Like
you could spend fucking forever
the hard ape RPG elements of New Vegas and like the Minecraft, not even Minecraft, but like the building mechanics to Fallout 4. Yeah, like I can't wait for technology to get to the point where fans can easily remake games.
Yeah.
Oh, it's gonna be good.
All right, so Andy's number 3 is part of my number 2. So, what we'll do here, we'll share your 3, which will be my 2.
And then he'll do his number 2.
But we also share our number 1.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking Christ, you guys are complicated.
So, we're gonna share this
I'll just go last overall. Fuck you guys.
Yours is 3 and mine is 2. But then Andy still has a number 2 he needs to talk about.
Yeah.
And then we still got honorable mentions. So we'll just do that, and then I'll shut up for a while. And then we'll do honorable mentions, and then you'll do your number 1, and then Andy and I will talk about our number 1.
Yeah.
So
my number 3, ironically, kind of, is Silent Hill 3. Which...
I think we need to talk about that. Because I haven't played many of them, but I have watched, read, heard, and asked about so much. And I hear that Silent Hill 3 is weak compared against the first 2. Haven't played them both, really. But that's the overwhelming opinion that I know of.
Okay, well...
That's all I'm saying.
I'll let him
For
say.
me, I was picking again between Silent Hill 3 and Silent Hill 1. Like, I know, like, I'm not saying I don't.
Damn, we got different.
Yeah, I'm not saying I don't like 2. I just like Silent Hill 2 the least.
Yeah,
out of the 3.
Which is wacky to me, man.
Yeah, I know the unpopular opinion. It's just whatever. Like, the reason Silent Hill 1 introduced me to the survival horror genre. Although I hesitate to even call it survival horror. It is, but it is.
It's absolutely survival horror.
So, like, the reason I didn't...
Or is it a horror adventure?
It's survival horror.
Yeah, it's its own brand of horror, I guess.
It's Resident Evil, but even scarier.
Silent Hill genre. It has his own genre.
Yeah. So, the reason I didn't pick...
We'll talk about 3 for a minute, since this is yours.
Okay, so I'm just explaining why I didn't pick 1. Like, I actually dug up my PlayStation 3, plugged it in, and played a bit of Silent Hill 1. And, like, honestly, like, this... I think Silent Hill 1... Was it a launch title for the PlayStation?
I don't think so.
If it wasn't, it was very close to the launch cycle of the PlayStation.
Like 2002 or some shit.
Yeah, like Silent Hill 1 came out, I think, a year before Resident Evil 2 did.
Resident Evil 2 is 2002. I know that for a fact.
No, it's 1998, dude.
Oh,
yeah.
fuck me.
Yeah.
I thought it was 97.
It was either 97 or 98.
I think it's 97, but one of us is right. One of us.
I want to say it was 98 because, or it might have even been 99 because.
It wasn't 99.
Like, whatever, that's not terribly important. But you could tell graphically it was an early PlayStation title, and, like, playing
That's part of the reason for the fog.
Yeah, and playing it again, especially, like, on my big high-def TV, it didn't look good. I actually ended up getting a headache playing that game. It was definitely meant for the TVs of its time, because, like... So, like, playing it actually gave me a headache, and I figured if I was introducing someone to the Silent Hill franchise, I wouldn't give them this game, especially in this day and age. So I picked Silent Hill 3, because, I mean, not including, like, Homecoming, Downpour, and all of those, Silent Hill 3 graphically still holds up really fucking well. Like, I was playing it not long before my Xbox took a shit on me, and it still looks great. And Silent Hill 3 it's just my favorite one, and I can say it could be an entry point into the franchise because honestly, if you play any Silent Hill game, you're probably not gonna know what the fuck is going on the first time. 98? Okay. Yeah, you're not gonna understand the plot of Silent Hill the first time around. It's not gonna happen.
You're probably just not gonna understand the plot of Silent Hill.
Yeah, like when
no one really truly understands
there's like obvious things to take away, but
like I've watched in-depth video like essays on Silent Hill, and even then they're like, yeah, I still don't really know what's going on.
Yeah.
Well, there are very obvious things to take away, and then there's
the deep shit.
Yeah.
So
my number 2 is Silent Hill 2.
Yeah.
Which is my favorite one. Which, for whatever reason, you don't like, and I don't understand why.
It's not that I don't like it. I do like it.
We know. We like it the least.
Yeah.
We know.
Yeah. It's the same way I like Hot Fuzz the least.
Yeah.
It
Hot Fuzz.
I fucking goddamn love it. but it's my least favorite of the
Yeah,
movies.
some-
If I had to pick.
Yeah, like I play the shit out of Silent Hill 2. I don't think I got all the endings, but I got the good ending, I got the bad ending, I got the second bad ending, and I got the dog ending. And I think there's like 2 other endings that I didn't get. But something about Silent Hill 2, like I think it was Silent Hill 2 story, it just didn't click for me the same way Silent Hills 1 and 3 did. I didn't enjoy it as much as the story of those 2 games. Like, I'm sorry, I know it's an unpopular opinion, but it's my opinion. That's
fine,
just
dude.
yeah.
It either way, the whole, I guess, mythos and the whole story and idea of Silent Hill is just one of my favorite things ever. One of the creepiest possible things ever, and that's what I love about it so much.
Yeah.
That's why, like, when it comes to, like, love Resident Evil, but when it comes to, like, creepy, weird, unexplained story, all this shit, Silent Hill fucking reigns supreme.
Yeah.
When it comes to actually scaring the fucking literal shit out of me, Silent Hill reigns supreme.
The worst part of the best horror genre, like the worst part of Silent Hill, scares shit out of me. Like in the movie where Pyramid Head just rips that bitch's skin off. Regardless of your opinion of the movie, just that's.
Oh, I
holy shit! No.
I love the Silent Hill movie.
Oh, okay.
The second one's
I don't give a fuck
fine.
about anything after that.
The second one's fine, but the first one's
it's got Jon Snow in it.
I think the first one's actually really fucking good.
Yeah.
And captures the whole thing really well.
Yep.
Yeah.
Better than the Resident Evil movies did, definitely.
Yeah.
But like when it comes to actually scaring the shit out of me, Silent Hill does that way more than Resident Evil, because I can go back and play through any Resident Evil game without batting an eye.
Yeah.
I went back, it was probably like 2 years ago now.
Oh, I
The
remember
last
watching
time
you play this.
I played
where you
through-
left the.
The last time I played through Silent Hill 2, like, you're playing that with the lights off, even with your buddies. The ambiance, the sound, the entire...
Yeah.
Everyone is
fucking-
shitting their pants simultaneously.
The entire, just... everything is just fucking terrifying. It doesn't matter that it looks a little pixelated on your high-def TV, because the sound and just the creepiness of the environments, everything. It is so rare that Silent Hill, at least the original 3, pull out like really gruesome stuff. Like I'm gonna keep comparing it to Resident Evil.
Yeah.
Where it's just gore. A lot of gore.
Yeah.
And
some fucked up looking monsters. But
yeah. But I mean, like,
Silent Hill is on a whole
when you're
different
just
level.
when you're just walking around, it's like, oh, there's a guy with his head ripped off. All right, you get used to it. Silent Hill, when they use the gore, when they do,
what the fuck is that?
It hits you so much harder because they don't, and then the whole time you're just hearing.
There's no...
Or just for no reason, the music will speed up, and you'll be like, "What monster did I miss?" And you'll walk back down the hallway, and shit'll change a little. I don't know. It's always fucking with your mind, and it's legitimately terrifying the entire time. Resident Evil is scary. Silent Hill is fucking terrifying.
You want to hear something real sad, real quick about Silent Hill?
Oh,
One time you saw.
I mean, all of Silent Hill is
One
sad.
time you saw your mom's skin get ripped off by
No. So everybody knows about the shit show going down with like Konami canceling Silent Hills and all that
That
stuff.
was a while ago at this
Yeah,
point.
but
I said it.
yeah, Jimmy might not be familiar with this, but I know Noodle is familiar with this guy. The manga artist Junji Ito was going to be working
know
on
that
Silent
is.
Hills.
I know that is.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was gonna be in like he wasn't.
Fuck.
Yeah, he was gonna like. help with
we
design
done.
shit.
I don't know if I can handle Silent Hills plus Junji
I can't.
Ito.
I can't handle playing the Resident Evil 2 remake because I'm just terrified and panicking the whole time. I can't find that, but it was like when I was playing the original Resident Evil 2, where it was just like, I'm panicking, I can't do this. That's what it is with the remake, where eventually I'll settle and be like, okay, I don't care, and I'll go, what you do.
Yeah.
Eventually I'll get there, but it's still just too terrifying for me.
And then you fucking throw Junji Ito in there.
Yeah, fucking hair. People taking people's air.
Yep.
Fucking sea monsters coming out.
Yep.
Man, Junji Ito is fucked.
Yeah, he is.
He comes up with some weird shit.
Yep. But yeah, he was going to work on Silent Hills, and I found that out recently, and I almost cried over the fact that Silent Hills got fucking shit
that
canned.
would have been perfect.
Right?
Especially for that it got shit canned for Death Stranding.
I mean, I hear... well, I'm not going to talk about Death Stranding right now, but...
Real quick, though, Donkey did his review on it.
Yeah.
Fucking hates it.
I hear you're either going to hate it or love it.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to love it, but that conversation for a different time.
Yeah. Alright, so that's your 2.
That's my 3.
Or 3.
Yeah.
Shit, that was my 2.
Yeah.
So I gotta skip for a minute.
Yep.
So Jimmy's 3. Right?
No, Jimmy's 3 was...
Jimmy's 2 now.
Yeah, we're on Jimmy's 2.
Did BioShock,
Skyrim,
and
New Vegas. Yeah.
So you're on your 2.
I've kind of had to change my 2 up at this point because it was either the same title or too similar. I'm kind of on the fly with number 2. My number 1 is set, but my number 2 is kind of wishy-washy right now.
You want my 2 to go first? Gather your thoughts a bit?
Yeah, please.
Okay, so my number 2 is Yakuza 0, which I'm shocked it took me this long to find that fucking game.
I've heard that's what most people realize.
Yeah. So
because of a few relevant game reviewers.
Yeah. So Yakuza 2 is officially on my list as a perfect game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so good. Like, I'm gonna... There's too much to get into with Yakuza 0. I'm, like, 30 hours in, and I'm only on Chapter 3 out of 10. There is...
Wait, is Yakuza the GTA type game?
Yeah.
The Asian version?
Yes.
Right?
Not near as open world as Grand Theft Auto. It all takes place in one very small area of Tokyo that you can just, like, walk around in.
Yeah, okay.
But I would actually place Yakuza 0 as actually a better game than GTA 5 and Red Dead Redemption.
Oh, you better fucking watch your mouth with that latter part.
I'm not saying they're bad. I'm not shitting on those games.
Oh, no, I know. But still, watch your damn mouth about that Red Dead Redemption.
I mean, honestly, Red Dead Redemption was the competitor for Yakuza 0 on my list.
Damn straight it was.
Yeah. But there's just...
Fuck, it got derailed.
Yeah. Where do I even fucking start with Yakuza 0? There's just so much in that game to do. Like, my God. Like,
from feeding cats to
that's Shenmue.
Dragon Ball. Oh, yeah.
That's Shenmue, which I haven't actually played, and I'm probably gonna get crucified.
Isn't
for.
Yakuza like GTA 5 still, or am I still thinking Shenmue?
I think you're still thinking Shenmue because all the combat in Yakuza is hand to hand. There's there is guns, but you don't really use them much. Like.
Yeah, no, I just got confused.
Yeah,
you're right.
But man, like, okay, so I'm gonna start with character on this one. So I've had a passing familiarity with the Yakuza series up to this point. Like, I know what the story is about, and in the first Yakuza game, which came out on the PlayStation 2, one of the characters you play as in Zero, a guy named Goro Majima, was
fucking Goro.
Yeah, he was voiced by Mark Hamill, which was very, very cool. And in, like, the games other than Yakuza 0, Goro Majima is, like, just a raving, violent lunatic. Like, he's literally called the Mad Dog. Like, and he basically just turns into straight-up Joker at some point, because he's voiced by Mark Hamill. There's, like, a scene where in Yakuza 1, where he goes and confronts the main character, Kiryu, and they're, like, at, like, a batting cage facility. And for some reason, someone just forgot to turn off the pitching machines. So there's like baseballs flying around, and Majima's like delivering this dialogue. He's like, yeah, like I showed up here to fight you, Kiryu, and he just gets creamed full on the side of the head with a baseball, and just stands there for a minute, and then he just starts laughing, and like all of his henchmen start laughing with him, except one guy who's like, should I be laughing at this? And Majima just grabs a baseball bat, clocks this guy over the head, and starts beating him. He's like, this is the part where you're supposed to start laughing, motherfucker! And just straight up turns into the Joker. Well, you find out in Yakuza 0 that he's actually just a really nice, stable guy. And at the end of this game, he adopts the Mad Dog persona. What?
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Yeah, in Yakuza 0, he's like, really nice guy, looking out for his people. He's nice to everyone. And at the end, he adopts the Mad Dog persona, and everyone's like, what is going on? And he's like, no, it's just a persona I made because if I'm going to survive the Yakuza world, I just got to live crazier than everybody else. And the storytelling is just so fucking good. Like, there's stuff I don't get because I'm not Japanese. I don't live in Japan. I don't know much about the Yakuza. But it's just a perfect game. I lost a good 10 hours at one point. I was doing a real estate mini game, which is how you get a lot of money. Just like buying up properties, waiting for payouts and shit like that. And as I was going around picking up properties, I just stumbled into a quest. They're like, yeah, like, you know, like the pocket circuit. And I'm like, all right, what's this? And it's literally just racing remote control cars in like a recreational center. And I completely got sidetracked, spent from like 2 p.m. to 3 a.m. just wandering around picking up like upgrades for my little RC car and shit. And when I went back to base to save my progress and go to bed, they're like, oh, hey, your real estate payouts are ready. And I'm like, oh, fuck, right. I was doing real estate shit. Shit! There's just so much to that game, and all of it's really fucking good. Like, just the remote control car racing, how in-depth that gets, it's better than some actual legit racing games.
Yeah, probably.
And you can go do things like, you can play cards, you can go to strip clubs, you can, like, play fucking mahjong, you can go to the batting cages and just, you know, just do batting stuff. There's so much to this game, and all of it is so deep and fleshed out. It's just, it is a perfect game. I can't find anything wrong with it, and I've tried because I've been playing it so much and knowing it was going to be on my list for this. I'm like, there's nothing there's nothing to criticize about this game. It's just that good, and it's also like only $20 now because it's been out for like 2 years. I can't recommend it enough. Pick it up, play it. It's really, really good.
All right, Jimmy, you're number 2.
GTA 4. Nico Bellic is one of my most favorite protagonists of any video game, period. Oh. Just Grand Theft Auto 4 is kind of like if San Andreas went and got a nice haircut, took a real deep shower, you know, took like some online classes, and just showed up to his interview. Yeah, it's GTA 4. Like, Nico Bellic is an Eastern European man who is on a boat to America, is stashed away, immigrates legally. I'm guessing legally.
I know basically who he is, even though I've never fucking played a single minute of the game.
Yeah.
I have.
Anyway, he comes over on a boat. I'm fairly certain it's legally because he's trying to be there legally.
Yeah.
And he's there because his cousin
Ramon.
Fucking Roman,
not Ramon.
Yeah,
has
Let's
emailed
go bowling,
him.
right?
I'm gonna.
You can also bowl in Yakuza 0. Continue.
Anyway, Roman has been like sending Nico Bellic like emails for like a long time saying just how great America is and how close he is to owning a big multinational business and like other like, I'm gonna be rich real soon, like America is great, come here. And Nico Bellic comes over on a fucking dirty ass ship, gets off the boat, and meets up with his cousin. And his cousin lives in a really shitty second story like fucking what's the term for an apartment that only has one giant room and then a bathroom?
Studio?
Studio, yeah. Shitty ass studio apartment. And all he does is run like a small cab company.
Yeah.
And everything is just a total lie. Nico Bellic is kind of pissed. But at the same time, like he's still glad to be here instead of where he was. And you start playing the game and you realize that a lot of characters from his past are here in the same city. And I think the first antagonist is like someone who was in the same military unit as him. Or what was the asshole's name who like kept calling Nico Yokel?
I don't fucking remember. I played GTA 4 when it came out and haven't touched it since.
Well, then there's gonna be a lot of the story that I missed. But Nico Bellic goes through a lot of shit.
Yeah.
And he at a certain one of the arcs of the story is him trying to find the guy that was from his unit that betrayed them and left them for dead or something like that. And he also goes through a weird transition where he admits that he shot children and shit, he murdered just people a lot for the army when he was back in the Red Army and shit like that.
Yeah.
And those guys fought Goku.
That's the Red Ribbon Army, you uneducated hick.
But anyway, the first half of the game is a very good contained story where he's tracking down all these people from his past in Eastern Europe, and then it goes off the fucking rails. He meets a Jamaican dude, he meets some Irish brothers.
He's a real bad man scene.
Yeah, that blood clot, and
yep.
yeah,
guy.
It goes off the fucking rails after the first half of the game, and god damn, that's why it's so fucking good.
Yeah.
And I think there's 3 endings to the game, which is really bizarre for a Grand Theft Auto game. That's what kind of started it with Grand Theft Auto 5. There's several different endings.
Yep.
And
Death Wish ending for life.
When you play it now, it kind of is painful to look at.
Yeah, it's aged.
But
it's
the ragdoll physics are still
Yeah,
somehow top notch. The ragdoll physics are still top notch.
Yep.
I don't know how they are because the graphics are fucking outdated as shit.
Yeah.
But when you push someone down the stairs, holy shit, that's physics.
Yep.
Alright. So,
Honorable
mentions.
Am I gonna start?
Yes.
Yeah, one of them.
Okay, so the one I had written down is Super Metroid.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Samus is my babe.
Yeah, that's one of the other games. Silent Hill really introduced me to the horror genre, but there was a lot of scary shit just in Super Metroid, which for its time was pretty fucking impressive.
I will say that the scares from Super Metroid came 100% from the music and the ambiance.
Yeah.
If the music wasn't the way it was,
It
because
would
there
not have
are
been nearly
in
as
the
good.
different parts, the different parts of the map and stuff.
Yeah.
There's different music for different parts,
And
there are definitely parts that 100%, there are parts of the map where it's super upbeat, jazzy music,
Yep.
action fucking shit, and you kind of feel like a superstar.
Yeah.
And then you go into a fucking darker, fucking creepier music stage, and it's like if they fucking played that actiony music when you went into that dark part, you'd probably be just like, oh, fuck yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
But because of what they do, because of the way that they designed everything, it's like, oh no, this is scary now.
Yeah.
It's amazing what they did almost 100% through the music.
Yep. One of my favorite memories is still the first time I played Super Metroid. At the very beginning, when you go to the space station, all the scientists are dead, and then you walk into the boss room and everything just goes quiet. And then you see Ridley's fucking glowing eyes and the music dun 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 dun. It's just, and then fucking Space Dragon is oh, is this what we're fucking doing now? Fuck yeah! It's so good.
It's the same as when you get when you I think when you get the bombs is the first time you fight one of the statues. Where
Yeah,
it goes
it
up.
shows those statues.
Because you get,
fuck out when I was a
think
kid.
the first time you see one of those, I think you get missiles for the first time. So I just played this like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Is when you get missiles for the first time, and you just shoot the thing and you get missiles, and it does nothing. You're
Yeah.
like kind of like, all right, and you leave the room. But then when you get the bombs, is when you like take it, and then you're like, wait, why can't I leave? What's going on? And then it just breaks out of its shell and starts coming at you.
Yeah.
That scared the
like,
shit out
oh,
of me as a kid.
Fuck, man. And that's the other time where it's just boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
And it just fucking gets you going.
Yep. Another honorable mention for me, which the only reason it's not on the list is because I would not recommend this game to everybody, even though it's a perfect game. Bloodborne.
I was wondering about that not
Yeah,
being on there.
like-
I thought about putting that on my list, but I was like, that's too blasphemous because I've never beat it.
Yeah, but like if you're into the Souls series, like difficulty and really like good atmosphere and good subdued storytelling, Bloodborne.
The atmosphere and the entire just art design of the
Yeah.
game. Like,
And the music, when you actually get music, is fucking boss.
yeah.
Like Gascoigne's theme is still one of my favorites.
All I can hear is like Super Metroid music right now.
Yeah.
It hasn't left my head yet. I'm struggling to make it be
Alright.
quiet.
Yeah.
Your honorable mention.
No, I got one
What?
more. I got one more.
Okay, but then it'll be Jimmy's and then mine, and then we'll do your number one, and then we'll
Yeah.
do our shared number one.
Yeah.
One.
So you're after his.
Yeah.
You're on.
So this one is a game I'm pretty sure not a lot of people played on the. It was on the Xbox 360, and it was a game called Wet, which
We
Maybe-
don't have it. I swear we had it
maybe
at one point, but I've never
I
played it.
might-
I think you loaned it to me, and I
Okay,
still haven't given it back. I'll
explain
look
what
for
the
it.
game is, and I
It
might
is a balls to the wall hack and slash action shooter.
like a Devil May Cry style, like jumpy crazy shooter, or is it more like
No.
Crackdown? Is it more like
No, not Crackdown.
like
Max
what-
Payne or
Oh,
Dead to Rights kind of shit.
okay,
Like your character, like she has a katana that you can go in for melee attacks, and then you can do like forward dives, backward dives, and if you
No.
aim while doing that, you get like
You-
the slow
You've
mo
already
shit.
lost me, so I don't know this game.
Oh well, I'll look for it in my game box because I do think you let me borrow it because I wanted to play it again, but it wasn't backwards compatible.
I didn't let you borrow shit.
No, he did.
Oh.
But yeah, like the gameplay is good. The story's meh. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Like you're an assassin, and I think you either get betrayed or you get a job to go after like this gang, and you just gotta like kill your way to the top. But the soundtrack, it's a bunch of licensed stuff from like various like punk rock and country rock artists. Like I have some of it on my iPad. I'll let you listen to it later. But it's so diverse, but every single song fits perfectly for where they put it in the game. So when the soundtrack starts bumping and you like go into combat, start doing like slow mo dives and flippy dippy bullshit with the katana, it is so much fun, and I'm sad more people haven't played it. It's so great game. Now your honorable mentions.
This is going to be a weird one, but my honorable mention is World of Warcraft.
That's fine.
That
God.
entire game.
I don't think that's weird at all.
That
It's
entire-
almost weird to me that's not on your list
it
with how much you
like
play.
all.
You don't play it much anymore, but you used to. We don't have internet right now. Otherwise, I know you would be playing it more.
Yeah, it's. I only want to put on my honorable mentions because I honestly feel like putting an MMO on here is just not fair. Like the amount of content just puts it above regular like $60 games. It's just not in the same tier.
If it's one of your favorite games.
Yeah,
Either way, fine. It's an honorable mention that should have been number 2. Whatever.
that's fine. I get
Yeah,
it.
just World of Warcraft in general. Like I played it for 8 years about, and just like if you could only play one video game ever, like that is your choice. There's too much shit to do. Like even if you were born, if you were like alive during the Crusades, you might be finding some new shit to do right about now. Probably.
Fair,
Maybe.
fair.
That's my honorable mention because I feel like it's just like some people will just instinctively not like it, and like the MMO style puts a lot of regular gamers off. Like it's too much of a niche type game, which is why it's not on my list. Like
it I don't think it's that niche though. It was one of the most played games for fucking
World of Warcraft made World of Warcraft not niche. Like depending on like what time it was. Anyway, it's just not on my list because my number one is.
All right, well.
World of Warcraft is just. Oof.
Speaking of, what is your number one?
Well, no.
Unless you have more.
Oh,
right.
Yeah,
My bad.
I'm
Sorry.
not gonna.
Sorry.
Yeah.
All right.
My number one is dumb. So like World of Warcraft is technically my number one in enthusiasm. My number one is dumb.
Yeah.
It's okay though.
All right. So I also have 3 honorable mentions.
Okay.
The first being Mario Kart 64.
I kind of saw that coming.
Another one.
I'm
like,
honestly surprised that's an honorable mention.
That's another
My
one.
dude.
It's very much the same as Left 4 Dead, where it's like it deserves to be in there, but when it comes to it, and it's probably the game behind Left 4 Dead 2 that I've put the most hours into, but I just know most normal people wouldn't do that, I guess. So most normal people, that's the thing, is that anybody who listens to this, if we were to broadcast this to 1 million people, every the fucking
Play Skyrim.
900,000 of them would be like, no, I can beat this dude in Mario Kart 64. They don't know how fucking stupid they are. They don't know.
Which sounds like he's boasting.
It sounds like I'm.
But remember, he said 900,000 out of 1 million, so there's still 100,000 he's not sure about. He's not that egotistical. He knows that there's several people who
Oh,
might
I still
win.
know I'm gonna be like top 5 in the world, but.
Oh, okay.
No,
You
I'm
ruined my
fucking-
entire.
No. I'm just saying. There's so many people that when we used to go to the bar all the time, we'd have them back to our house because we'd be like, "Oh, we play Mario Kart and shit," and they'd be like, "Mario Kart? I'm the best at Mario Kart.
Yeah.
I look like a fucking Teletubby basically right now," and it'd be like, "Yeah, are you good at Mario Kart?" And Kenny would always be my hype man and would be like, "Come back and play Evan. Come back and play Evan. This is my boy Evan. Come on." What? Okay. And they'd come back and it'd be like, oh, yeah, the last time you played this was like 10 years ago and you thought you were good back then. See, I've been playing this for the past 19 years and I'm going to fucking throttle your asshole.
Yeah, I had a game like that.
Mine is Smash, which is my second honorable mention real quick, so I had one.
Smash should be
every
all,
Smash game
all
together.
Of ours,
Yeah.
But no, people don't understand. Our friends are very good at Mario Kart 64, but I still beat all of them every time.
Oh, I know.
And it's not luck.
Which is why I refuse to play you.
There's a degree of
because
luck
at
in
least
the game,
when you play me at Smash,
but
there's a
when
10% chance you'll win, but there's a 0% chance I'll win at like Mario Kart against you.
Yeah,
like,
no.
So that's why I don't
You might
play
win
Mario Kart.
a race,
Yeah.
but you
No,
aren't gonna.
no,
win.
I won't win a race. I know. I've tried.
No, you've won a race against me before. Just one race. But the thing is, you gotta do.
I was always second.
You
if
gotta
you were
do
playing.
a whole thing.
I was always second.
Oh,
if you were playing.
you've 100% got a first when I got even a fourth
Oh,
maybe.
okay.
Sometimes you just get fucked, especially mainly it's in the easier tracks. But in any case, people think they're good and they're not.
Yeah.
No, they're
Like
not. Same thing with Smash, because I know I'm badass at Smash around here, but I've been to a tournament and like fuck that place. I'm staying here.
Yeah.
Yeah, my Mario Kart was Street Fighter 4.
Nice.
Like there were times when I would be like out on the town, like talking to somebody and be like, "Oh yeah, no, like I'll fight you with Street Fighter 4 and I'll whoop your ass." And like if I went down to the lower 48 and competed at like Evo, I'd get demolished. But just like around here, it's like, you're really gonna fight me at Street Fighter 4 as Cody, as my best character? Good fucking luck.
That was me and Zay with Halo too.
Yeah.
Like,
Fight my Link.
we
bitch.
are bosses here. Okay, so the other one I think deserves the Fable series.
Oh,
pretty
thank
much in
God!
general.
I'm so glad you brought that up. I was thinking about even saying that.
Because the first game, they pretty much go in order. First
Yeah.
game's the best, second game's second best, third game's. But they're all good.
Yeah.
People hate on the third game.
Fuck them.
It's
that
fuck
ending,
them.
that
It's
ending
good.
mechanic where you have to choose,
No, you're talking about. Wait.
in the third where you have to
choose one.
spend all the gold you've got or like make gold.
Yeah.
But if you saved up no gold through your game,
That's what I did.
like people hated that shit. Where it's like, yo, you have to make so many weird choices. You know, you have to spend gold.
I don't even give that much of a shit about the story in Fable 3. It's got good gameplay mechanics. It's fun.
Yeah,
it's a fun game.
Yeah.
Guns,
and-
man. I loved guns.
Yeah, and the Fable 2 was great. And the best thing about Fable 1, and I know I've said it on this shit before, is similar to Metroid, where the fucking music was just creepy, and it was like
Fable 2 had really creepy music,
it was like fantasy creepy music, like just the regular music that was playing, just the
Yeah, sorry.
just that shit was like creepy, but like fantasy creepy, and
Yeah.
the world you were in was like weirdly creepy. Like all the characters were so like even NPCs you talk to were so like just off a little bit.
just like
and it
this,
might not
like
I don't
Uncanny Valley.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
think it was even on purpose, but with that music, which was, it almost seemed like it was modeled off the Shire music.
Yeah.
If fucking Stanley Kubrick wrote it, fucking just made it creepy, where it's like, yeah, this is fucking relaxing but weirdly creepy. The way all the characters acted and the way the whole story went. Fable 1 was the best one. Fable 2, Fable 3, still great games. Fable 2, fucking crank up those rent prices and fucking just go full evil for a bit until you have all the money, and then you can just drive it back down to the ground and just go back to being an angel.
I forgot how easy it is to break that game.
Yeah. I think my favorite thing to come out of Fable was the eventual fate of, I think he was the guild master from Fable 1. The guy who would go, do you have any potions? Food? That guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was in a loading screen of either 2 or 3 where it said, yeah, he was found murdered with, do you have a potion carved into his forehead?
Yeah.
So
my last honorable mention before we get Jimmy to number 1
You guys are gonna be so disappointed. I'm sorry.
is a very very obscure game that I got off the Xbox Live
hipster.
arcade marketplace. No, fuck you. And
You're the one who's
there's
very obscure.
plenty that I don't like about this game when it came to aesthetic, because you
so
played
it was ugly?
the game. No, it was pretty, but the game is dust, an Elysian Trail.
Yeah. I remember
It's
that.
it's
I
a
have no
very
idea.
kind of Metroidvania style game, and the thing I didn't like about it is you played as like a fox human, and all the characters most of them were like, it was a furry game. It was 100% a furry game, but man, was it fucking good. The only achievement I didn't get in it was because I played through it once and I got all of them. But there was one decision you had to make like halfway through the story, which you get an achievement for choosing one, and you get an achievement for choosing the other.
Yeah.
And I just didn't play through it again.
Very Infamous-esque there.
Yeah, stupid shit where it's just like, play the game again to get this.
Man, I didn't put Infamous second song on my list. Motherfucker. Whatever, it's fine.
But
Retroactive honorable mention. Infamous.
that game was fucking awesome. I played the shit out of that game. Man, it was a truly great Xbox Live arcade game. That it went on sale for like $1 or something, so I bought it.
Nice.
And because I was like, well, I don't know, it's $1. Maybe it'll be shitty, maybe it won't. And it had a lot of those RPG things where it like pops up and it's the character's drawn face with the text. And they looked like shit. They didn't look like shit, but they weren't great. And yeah, the entire thing, I was like, this is just weird furry stuff, but they never made it weird. They never made anything even like romantic in the game.
It was kind of like that Robin Hood movie, the cartoon where it's all like animal people, and it doesn't get weird. They're just still animal people.
Robin Hood and Little John running through the forest.
Yeah, well, it's like
but this was way before that.
Well, I'm just saying, like, it's the kind of furry that's not weird. They just happen to be animal people, and like, that's about it.
Yeah, but I mean, even in Robin Hood, they at least had some sort of like.
Without the Merriam Robin Hood thing,
they still had some sort of romantic story. In this, I think they had one, but it didn't ever like show them together or anything.
You know what I meant, though.
I know what
very
you mean.
Innocent.
It's just innocent. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Which also,
Christ.
man, that deserves an honorable mention on good movies. Disney's Robin Hood.
I really didn't like it that much. I just know of it.
Oh, you're an absolute cunt if you
fuck
don't like that movie. That movie's fucking great.
Whatever. So anyway, any other honorable mentions?
Please come up with one more. I have to find something as a context for both of you, and then I'm going to talk about it.
Well,
I can talk about Banjo-Kazooie.
Well, since I brought it up, Infamous.
Oh, talk about Infamous. Yeah, go for it.
Like the first two on the PlayStation 3
I've never
were.
played any of them.
Neither have I, so he's going to be a storyteller.
Yeah,
all of us, audience included.
Weird. It was almost built as like a superhero fantasy fulfillment.
I heard
it
was kind of a prototype clone ish.
They came out almost exactly.
They did
at the
come
same
out
time,
superpower, crazy jumping.
So it was very Dawn of the Dead. 28 Days Later. I think they came out at like around the same time.
Yeah,
but
2007.
I know that I watched you play some of Infamous.
Yeah.
And I always thought Prototype was cooler because I watched you play that, and then I got Prototype, and then I was like
they're both open world superpower games, but Prototype had way more crazy traversal in it than Infamous did.
Well, no, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, it's a third person, crazy jumping around. You have superpowers, and you like it's that kind of like it's almost like Saints Row 4 type of traversing where you jump around instead of driving anywhere. You just like jump and you have crazy powers.
Like in the first two games.
Or like Crackdown, like that kind of shit.
Yeah.
Saints Row games also on.
Saints Row
honorable mention.
No, but for me, it's Saints Row 1 and 2. And
no. We're talking about just a quick honorable mention.
Yeah, we're going like so.
Otherwise, we're gonna get
in Prototype, you could just like straight up run up buildings and fly basically. But in Infamous, the first two, the main character Cole was like a bike messenger who just happened to get into like urban exploration, so he was very parkour and had to like actively like kind of Assassin's Creed climb up buildings, and eventually he gained the ability to like surf on like telephone wires because his superpower was electricity manipulation. And good on the writers for giving you reasons why you couldn't use guns or cars in that game, because Cole didn't have like really great control over his powers. Like, he picked up a gun once, and his electricity powers actually made the gun explode by cooking off the bullets in the magazine.
Ooh.
And he tried to sit in a car, and it literally blew up around him because he ignited the gas tank.
Dude, so there was just... This is relatively on topic, but also fairly off topic. There was just a recall on this gunpowder.
Oh, no.
So we had 3... fucking bottles of them at the store, and specifically 2 of them looked fine, but specifically in the recall email they were like, it'll look like it's blown up, basically like
inflated,
like the bottle's gonna look like it's inflated, and like what you have to do is open it and then immediately pour water into it. But there's a chance that opening it, in like 1 in a billion chances, it just exploded.
Oh no!
And so, this was Thursday. Ty was at the desk and he was like, "Yeah, we just got this email about this recall, and these 2 look good, but this one looks a bit bloated." And Rob and I were standing there, and it's like, what does it say to do? And he was like, well, open it and pour water on it. And we were like, well, probably do that then. We're going to the bathroom. And, okay. turned out fine. And then he was like, yeah, it said 1 in like a billion chances of like 1 exploded. And it was like, fucking O?
Yeah.
Like 1 in a billion,
shit.
huh?
Like after popping the cap,
Yeah.
something happened.
Yeah. But anyway, so I'm actually real sad that Infamous 1 and 2 didn't get like ported to the PlayStation 4 because they were really good, and Infamous 2 got this ridiculous DLC expansion where Cole gets bitten by a fucking vampire. And like,
Oh, I remember.
yeah, Infamous Festival of Blood. It was, God, it was so fucking silly, that expansion, and it so good, and like really decent like morality system, like helping people like get turned like.
Fuck helping people.
Yeah, like depending on like whether you like help people or be like a selfish dick, you'll actually get different power sets depending on which alignment you go into, which is why Evil Cole and Good Cole were both playable characters in PlayStation All-Stars, which I feel should also get an honorable mention for being a pretty okay Smash clone. Like, it wasn't great, but it was fun. I when I played it, I had a good time with it.
Everything I've heard is that it was pretty broken.
Oh, it wasn't
Basically,
balanced at all.
if somebody picked something and you were any good, you could just pick the character. So you'd pretty much just have to block the screen and be like, all right, now pick.
Yeah,
Because otherwise somebody picks Dante and then you just pick Sweet Tooth and blow him to hell.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, Colonel Raddick, Sweet Tooth, Kratos, and Dante were all stupidly broken. What is this? Oh, is this your number 1? Dude, I love
The
this game.
64 game?
No, it's the PS2 complete version. The
Okay.
entire full game. Oh shit.
I'm okay with this being your number 1 pick. This is a great game.
Using the power of the runestones released a great evil upon the land.
Score.
Free of God's control. Crushing him and imprisoning his soul in the underworld.
God, I can't graphically
White.
Upon the lands and
Ah.
the runestones
This scene is ingrained into my lizard brain.
be assembled and used against him.
Your brain doesn't have wrinkles, it's just flat. Like the koalas.
Sure. Wait, what? Then later.
Yeah.
Means you can't form complex stuff.
I think this same one came out on the GameCube.
It did.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm totally okay with this being your number 1 pick. Gone, that's a great game.
Okay, so there is a history behind this particular.
It was about to do that. That's what I was trying to stop.
Oh, okay. So there's a history behind this game. The very first version came out on the N64.
Yep.
It only had 4 realms, which was like 4 stages with multiple levels.
Yeah.
And it was like the basic part of the game, and then eventually it got to PlayStation. It
Yeah.
had 5. Fuck it. GameCube, PS2, fucking 8 realms. Full game. You've got the beginning 6? No, the beginning 8 classes, which are all slightly different. They all have 4 different stats. There's attack, defense, magic, and speed. And every class you can pick has different starting combinations of each. So you have like the main 4 are a warrior, a wizard, knight, and jester. Because like the knight was defense, warrior was strength, wizard was magic, and jester was speed. And then you had literally, I think, if you unlocked all of them, an additional like 40 other classes
Nice.
with different combinations of the stats depending on what you do to unlock them. Like, there was an insane amount. And then there was a bunch of cheat characters, like even Gandalf if you want. Yeah, guess what? Max stats across the board because it's fucking Gandalf.
Yep.
And other characters you can play as, and it's just the way you play the game like going through each of the levels, like killing, respawning enemies with like it's a gauntlet game, but the atmosphere, like the ambient music, like the fucking soundtrack, like my god, like every single different.
I the original NES Gauntlet over there.
But anyway, the
Soundtrack's great on
soundtrack
that,
is
too.
beyond amazing. Every single maybe not every single level, but every single realm has a totally unique soundtrack and ambiance feel to it. And like it's just such a great hack and smasher with some interesting like ultimates, and then the items. Oh man, the items and the boss fights. Like there's so many like crazy ass items where like you can buy an item where it's like you can see inside chests.
Nice.
To see if like what's in there, or like if it's a trap chest.
The Lens of Truth.
The Lens of Truth from Legend of Zelda.
Hey.
Someday.
Hey.
Someday I'm gonna have to re-download Gauntlet PS4, and me and you need to play it together.
And then there's other items where it gets way ridiculous, where you buy, I think it's Arrow of Power, where like your regular attack is just replaced by a flying yellow arrow that's like 5 times as wide and just wipes shit out. It's so goofy.
Yeah.
But you're like shooting arrows, like picture arrows, not like bow and arrow arrows. It's just bullshit arrows.
Yeah.
And like you can get just other upgrades to your character, and if you get a shit ton of money, like the items get ridiculous. I think where like you can just get giant and just like hit one hit everything. Like the game is so good. It's such an arcade game.
Yeah.
But the art design, the set pieces, the soundtrack, like it's just so stylized to perfection. Like if I hear 4 seconds of any soundtrack from that game, I'm instantly in the mood for beating that game in one night.
I haven't played Dark Legacy in a long time, but do they have an announcer?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Red Warrior needs food badly.
Yeah, there was in Gauntlet PS4
They weren't here.
no. The announcer, like I don't remember if he did this in Dark Legacy, but he would like shit on you for doing certain things. Like if you blow up like the food, which is the healing item, it'll be just like be like, oh, I see the wizard felt he has no need of food.
No, it didn't do that.
Oh.
Legacy. Not for the PS2 complete version.
Yeah, still.
The Gauntlet Dark Legacy it has such replayability to the point where you might be able to play this, like no joke, for years on end, as different characters doing different shit for years without stop. It's just it's so good. And like even just the level design, so like each realm has a final boss, and each realm contains an item that is the secret weapon to fighting the realm's boss, but they're all different realm bosses' weaknesses. So like the first one is pretty tough for the first boss, so you usually skip him because all you have to do is collect certain colored crystals during the levels to unlock the next realm. So you don't have to beat the boss to get to the next one. But the first boss's weakness is found like 4 realms later when you're way into the game.
Yeah.
And you'll in the first realm you find the weakness to like the boss like that's 3 realms down. And like you have to like really search each realm to find all the secret items that makes the game easy to play. Like it's so much time you put into the game without doing everything. Like yeah, this is why it's my number 1. I could talk about all night.
I don't fucking blame you.
Well,
I think I'm unfamiliar. Let's see.
Resident Evil 2, baby!
Yep, me and Noodle's number 1, Resident Evil 2, and I'm including the remake.
It's there.
It's, man, like, I'm putting these both, like, they both have the number 1 spot because they're both Resident Evil 2, but they're both very different. Like, because, one came out literally 20 years ago now.
It's the same way I did the Dawn of the Dead and Dawn of the Dead. Like, very different.
Yeah.
But
still the same.
But still excellent.
Yeah. Since I recently played through Resident Evil 2 Remake again, I noticed something very, very cool about both games. So, like, even though it's the same story, they take place in the same place, the atmospheres almost couldn't be more different. Like, allow me to explain in a second. So, God damn it. In Remake 2, most of the police station and a lot of the other places you go to, very, very dark. Very cramped. Everything is beat to shit.
Oh, okay.
It looks like the police station has gone through a war because the police station has gone through a fucking war.
With
So
the undead.
yeah, so you're like creeping around with a flashlight, being
At the speed of
sound. That game is not on the list.
Stop me
Nope,
now.
not ever gonna
Nope.
be ever anywhere close to the list.
No. So like it's dark, it's foreboding, it's claustrophobic, creepy as shit.
It's how it actually would be.
It's how it actually would be. And then in the original, like the police station,
All the lights are on.
yeah, all the lights are on. Like the police station still has
There's like
power.
lamps
Yeah.
everywhere.
Like everything.
their
A
lights
nice
on.
candle lit in the corner.
Yeah, like everything. It's bright. Everything's out in the open, and that lends its own weird and unease to it. So like,
Yeah, because it's
Well,
so fucking
that's-
bright in here. What's gonna kill me now?
That's what originally scared us was
Yeah.
it's bright and we can see all the dead bodies
Yeah.
and whatever else. We see it. And that's what scared us back then.
yeah,
Now it's the fear of what can't we see?
yeah, like what, like you go into like the police meeting room and like the lights are off. You're like shining your flashlight around. You're like checking for like what's hiding in the corner, like what can fucking get me in here. But in the original, you walk into there, the lights are on. You see like the room's messed up. There's like papers everywhere. There's like a blood stain, and it's like, well, okay, like if everything's out in the open,
And
like-
you immediately hear
yeah,
and it's like, okay, there's a zombie in this room.
yeah, but where is it? I can't see it with all the fucking lights on.
And fixed camera.
Yeah, and fixed camera angles, which lent their own unease to the game.
That was the biggest part,
yeah,
really.
but
If
yeah.
you could have just moved the camera around like Mario 64 and be like, well, there's the threat, boom, boom,
Yeah.
dead. But
It's like I was telling you the other day about, like well, technically Remake 1, you're in a big mansion, and, like, everything, like, looks clean, and there's, like, lights on, and it's just this weird sense of unease of, like, knowing something went down here, but you're not, like, seeing any evidence of it.
everything looks normal, but you just have this really bad feeling.
Yeah. Like, you don't really get that as much in Remake 2, but it has its own atmosphere, which it also does really fucking
Remake
well.
2 is just, oh, something went down here, and I can see. Well, I can at least very obviously. I don't know.
Like, you're in a war zone in Remake 2, is essentially what it is, but a lot of the time it looks like the war is actually over until the fucking zombies show up.
Yeah.
It's just,
Because you spend a hell of a lot less time out on the street, first off, in
Yeah.
Remake 2. Like, you aren't out running around well, probably about the exact amount of time as you do, but in the original it seems longer.
yeah.
Because you have to fight the zombies in the basketball court. There's no getting around fighting some of them or taking some damage there.
Yeah.
Most likely, if you aren't cheating, you're gonna take some damage there.
Yeah. Unless you've been picking up ammo, in which case, well, you're not going to get the secret Brad at the police station, but whatever.
Well,
Like, if you grab the shotgun or the crossbow in the original, you'll be just fine in the basketball court.
Yeah, I guess you can let them group up and pretty much knock them all down at once.
Yeah.
And then run by.
Yeah, which I also have to give a brief shout out to the Monster Hunter Resident Evil 2 crossover that was done recently and very, very well. Yeah. Just being able to play as a zombie is kind of broken in Monster Hunter. Like, you don't stagger or get knocked down if you're in zombie mode.
That's weird, because usually zombies are known for staggering and falling down.
I know, right? It's really...
That's actually bullshit. That's fucking retarded.
It's the complete opposite of
That's
what
yeah.
what? I think vampires. Vampires is better because they're undead and they don't fall over usually.
No, it was a way that they kind of like they balanced out the gimmick and the mission that you get turned into a zombie. It's like, yeah, you get turned into a zombie and you stop staggering from hits and getting knocked down, but the price is you can't jump and you can't dodge, and you still take full damage when you get hit. So if you're not careful, you'll go down real quick in zombie mode.
Okay.
But yeah, the Leon and Claire armor sets, really fucking cool. They captured a lot of like the Leon and Claire different gameplay from Resident Evil 2, like how the Leon set's based around bow guns with like spread shot because Leon's a shotgun boy. Yeah, it's just Resident Evil 2 is they're both perfect games in very different ways.
I remember certain scenes of the original, or not the original, but for me in my mind when I was 7, the original Resident Evil 2 was on the N64,
Yep.
and I saw my dad play it, and it kind of traumatized me a little bit.
Oh,
Like a little
scary
bit.
as shit.
Yeah, and I was 7. Like, just watching him play, like, my dad had no qualms with letting me watch certain shit. Like, I think I had to wait till I was 14 to play Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, because, anyway, like, that game when I was a kid was terrifying.
Oh yeah.
So even now when I think of Resident Evil
Head
2,
seems
all
so
I
big
see...
and twisted.
I see is the weird eye on the N64 cover with like the two
Yeah.
finger claws holding the two, like, and then I just see certain scenes.
You want me to go grab it and traumatize you?
Maybe, please.
Or do you want me to get the PS1 one and traumatize you? Or do you want me to get the,
All 3 of them,
Yeah.
please.
the GameCube one and
Just
traumatize you?
get all 3 of them. Like, just
Yeah, the scene, like, when I played Resi 2 the first time, the scene when you're going down to the Umbrella Labs and Willie Burke jumps down on top of that train and his head sinks into his chest and another one throws out. I had to stop playing at that point.
you know what game scene that's not relevant to Resident Evil that always freaks me the fuck out?
What's that?
One of, I don't know if it's the original Tomb Raider, but it's one of the earlier ones where if you fuck up a certain quick scene, you get eaten by rats in the sewer.
Oh, yeah.
That fucked me up as a kid too. Like
Yep.
that, I was like, so shrews scare the shit out of me for most of my life.
Yeah. I'm both sad and thankful that Remake 2 took spiders out of the game. The giant spiders in the sewers.
I kind of don't like what they did in the sewers instead of the spiders.
Yeah, the sewers were the weakest part of Remake 2. I'm not gonna sugarcoat that.
I don't like it that they
So-
did little weird willy
G-babies.
Yeah, I didn't like that much.
Yeah, that because the whole sewer segment in Remake 2 is basically just one big ammo dump.
So are we getting into the weird rambly part of the podcast at this point? 'Cause I have a
No, I
perfect
think we're
edition.
finishing out this Resi 2.
Yeah, like me and you will probably keep going for a minute
Yeah,
until
I'm
Noodle
about
goes
to
to
go
bed.
sit down. I'm
Yeah.
fucking tired.
That's
of
fine,
shit.
'cause
Well, I have
normally
something for
asleep-
you.
Okay, good. I have something
I'm
for you
normally
as well.
asleep 4 hours ago.
Yes.
So
yes.
if you would like to bow out, we're done with our listing at this point. So
Alright, boys.
it was good shit. I'm glad we did this.
It was
Yes.
good.
Swell poop.
Yep.
And then well after this date, when it's like probably January, maybe when we do the next podcast chronologically in our life, to you, this is going to be released soonish, or
Yeah,
is this going to be?
I'm gonna set it to rendering tonight and probably upload it tomorrow.
And then all the other ones are going to be new to them.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So this is a weird time paradox that you guys will never figure out.
Yeah.
paradox.
But, yeah. So I have something to show you, Jimmy, but I assume you can do your thing first since you probably already have
Mine's
it
only
up.
2 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Mine is nothing of substance. It's just hilarious.
Okay.
And slightly uncomfortable towards the end.
All right.
Because when I first watched this with my friend last night, I thought it was something that I was going to show him. Like, I thought it was the video I had in mind, and it was not, but it was very similar. But it turned out to be just ridiculous. And it's called Straight Outta Cyrodiil.
Oh boy. I have a feeling I know where this is going, and I think I'm on board.
There we go. Oh. Why can't you just, like, just gently? god, I'm going to hell for this.
Stop! You violated the law. It's been too long since I've seen a good brawl. I'm just warming up, you pathetic worm. Remember the Emperor! You dare attack me? I'm warning you. Show me what you've got. And the best you can do. Can't you settle this peacefully? You elves are all the same. All flesh, no fury. Guards! Guards! Someone's being attacked! Hey! You some kind of maniac! This is the part where you bleed to death. It's over, lawbreaker. You're under arrest. You'll make a fine pair of boots. By the God, there's a psychopath on the loose. I thought mud crabs more fearsome than you. You dare oppose the might of me?
And this is where it's just not good anymore. Like, when I got to this part, I was like, oh, is there a second part of the song?
Stop! Help!
It's not.
Come to me!
Oh.
Wow, you're the grand champion. I saw your fight. You're the best. Can I follow you around? Yes. Can I carry your weapon? Can I shine your boots, Carly? You're the best. Let's go. Oh, well, I guess I can do that. I won't get in the way. Whatever you say. I'm going to follow you and worship you for days.
Stop!
Ow.
Stop! Stop!
I'm coming.
Damn you!
Oh, thank you. You're just too kind. No more needed for me.
That's too bad.
Oh, anything's pleasure.
Hey, come on now. There's no need to...
God.
Everybody's happy.
What did I ever do to you?
This was a roller coaster the first time I saw this.
You're pathetic.
Oh, gee. You sure?
You filthy...
Okay. Well, I'll be hanging around the arena grounds if you need someone to worship your... Bye.
So, you see what I found.
Yeah. Yeah. So, this is not near as funny, but is also pretty damn cool. I'll give you a minute to recover.
Oh, God. I'm so proud of the human race right now.
Yeah.
Okay, what do you got?
Alright, so, give you a little...
I'm only mildly prepared.
Alright, so, give you a little context of this. It has to do with Yakuza 0.
Okay.
Basic plot is the main character, Kiryu, gets framed for murder and has to leave the Yakuza and go on the run. Is pretty much the main plot. And to do that, he has to fight this guy, Kuze, who is by far my favorite character in the game. He fights him, he wins, and because Yakuza, Kuze has to cut off one of his fingers.
Yeah.
That's a Yakuza thing. So this scene is probably my absolute favorite in the game, where you have to go into your second fight against Kuze. And just the dialogue and the music leading up to the fight is just so fucking good. And I'm going to talk more about Kuze after you watch this video. Come on, phone, don't let me down here. That's Kiryu.
Oh, I've seen like videos and like reviews of this game. I know what he looks like. Kind of.
Okay.
God, the audio in this part of the fucking podcast is gonna suck dick.
Yeah, sorry guys.
You're making it suck. I feel like I have to narrate so they even know what the fuck's happening. I guess I'll have to do that part. Pants in Japanese. So that one was yours? Unless you had already something. The Yakuza game. It's not like boxing. The man who gets beat down isn't the loser.
最後まで
The guy who can't toughen.
張り続けられなかったやつ
He's
が
the one who loses.
負けるんだ
I can't match the cadence. Fuck it, I'm done.
そうだろうが 極道の世界に KO はね俺はなき指の一本や二本なくそうが天野や渋沢に頭取られようがそんなことは構いしねえんだ命ある限り何度でも這い上がってやるだからよてめえみたいな半端もんが一番許せねえんだ死ねえバ
Ooh, classic martial arts move.
Yep.
Or classic cinema martial arts move.
Yeah. Kuze is by far the best fucking character in Yakuza 0.
Oh yeah.
He's so, like, Kuze isn't, like, he's old school Yakuza, and he's, like, probably your worst opponent throughout the entire fucking game, but he, like, follows a code. It's like all the other bosses, like not the video gamey bosses, but like the Yakuza bosses try to get at you like by backstabbing.
They're basically down low motherfuckers who at their very core just don't have an ounce of fucking honor or honesty or any sort of code.
Yeah.
Like they just don't give a shit really.
Yeah, but Kuze always shows up to fight you one-on-one, and here's the boss battles through frickin' Kiryu's side of the story. Kuze, Oda. Kuze, Shibusawa. He shows up to fight you 3 fucking times, and he's such an honorable man that in his final fight, when you're, like, going to the main Yakuza headquarters, he's just there standing in the road, just by himself, and Kuze's like, or not Kuze, Kiryu's like, what's going on? Where are all your henchmen? He's like, oh, I sent them away. I want to fight you on my own, and then Kiryu's just like, fuck. I would rather fight 100 goons than have to fight you right now. And Kuze's like, oh yeah, why is that? And he's like, all the other Yakuza guys are just out to kill me and get rid of me. You're here to break me.
Oof.
So then you have the whole fight, which it starts off that they almost kind of become friends. Like, Kiryu just trash talks the other fucking Yakuza bosses, but at the beginning of, like, the last line of dialogue last line of dialogue spoken for the fight with Kuze, he just straight up looks him in the eyes, calls him sir, and he's like, alright sir, let's finish this. And then they fight, and Kuze at the end is like, well, I can't beat Kiryu. He wins. And then, in, like, his most honorable moment, he gets up from a beating from Kiryu, and Kiryu's basically superhuman. Like, he can straight up pick up a motorcycle and beat somebody with it.
Oh, Jesus.
Like, he's insanely strong.
How did he not whoop Kuze's ass before?
Well, he does, like, 4 times, technically.
Oh, so Kuze is just overwhelmingly badass, but in technicality, he gets his ass whooped every time.
Yeah.
That's kind of a bummer, almost.
Yeah, and, like, after 4 fights, he realizes he can't beat Kiryu, so he's just like, alright, I'll do the honorable thing and bow out. So he picks himself up from a beating from Kiryu, walks his ass down to the police station, and turns himself in.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I feel like he should be the protagonist. Fucking Christ.
That's what a lot of people want. They're
The
like,
guy who sticks to his guns to literally the worst possible end.
Yeah.
For him, anyway. Going to prison for the rest of his life, probably.
yeah, a lot of people are like, yeah, no, like, can we just get, like, another Yakuza prequel where we play as Kuze?
That'd be fucking dope.
Yeah. Kuze is the guy who made me want to play that game because I saw that scene with that music and I'm like, that's dope. I should check this game out for $15. And then I'm like, how did I not get into this game before?
Man, I forgot I was going to bring up something that was going to be said like 2 hours ago during the movie shit. I had an honorable mention that I forgot to mention, and all of you get like nighttime watchers who have stuck through this entire fucking podcast. So sorry, but
Yeah.
Wow, I can't remember the name of the movie. It's a Thai martial arts movie. It's not Ong Bak.
Is it The Protector?
No, it's not The Protector either. Which is all. By the way, we can talk about The Protector until I realize the movie of the one, the name of the movie I'm thinking of.
Is it another Tony Jaa movie?
Yes, I think. I'm pretty sure it's a Tony Jaa movie.
Want to just pull up Tony Jaa films?
Oh, The Raid. The Raid series. Oh my lord!
Not a Tony Jaa movie, but really fucking.
Yeah,
good.
I don't know why I was thinking Tony Jaa, but probably because Tony Jaa is one of my favorite.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, The Raid. My God, like some of those, like I almost want this to pause for like 5 minutes so we can just watch a fight scene to be refreshed of how fucking brutal it is.
Oh, I know how brutal it is.
God, it's
Trust me,
so
I know.
good.
Yeah.
Like I don't even really know how to explain it other than just the main character gets his ass whooped and whoops so much more ass that it's kind of like a weird infinite power generator where you like throw a little bit of fuel in and it just infinitely whoops ass.
Yeah.
So you punch him in the face and he kills 10 dudes with a kick. Like, just something like that.
Yeah. Man, no. I wanted to
Or
show...
the one-on-one fight with the fucking, the push blades.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. No, I wanted to show you that because you did me a good turn in showing me the final cutscene for fucking Far Cry 5. Where you kill Joseph Seed.
For New Dawn.
New Dawn, my bad.
Yeah, that's the sequel ending to the main game.
Yeah, like, I wanted to bring Kuze up because Kuze has taken his place as, like, probably my favorite video game villain.
You need to play Far Cry 5 and New Dawn all the way through for you to have that. I know that objectively they're not good games. It's Far Cry 5. It's a Ubisoft game, a modern one, and I know that like the writing is so college level, but at the same time it's so good because it's that basic. Like it's balls to the fucking wall, like all the way. And then there's a lot of nice little subtle character moments.
Yeah.
Just a lot of nice... And all of a sudden you realize that this might be one of the most charismatic... Not even just charismatic, but just... Oh. His entire character is so good.
I know, that's... I'm in the same boat because you haven't played Yakuza 0, so you haven't seen all of what Kuze has to offer. Like, one of my favorite little bits is when Kuze, Awano, and Shibusawa, which are like the three main Yakuza bosses in that area, are talking about what they're going to do about Kiryu. And, like, the two of them are talking, like, yeah, like, you know, we can, like, attack him through his businesses, or we can, like, blackmail him, and then you just see this little shot of Kuze, like, sitting on a couch. He just kind of, like, looks over and, like, sneers at him a little bit. I love Kuze. I want a Kuze game.
After the podcast, or even right now, it's a really short scene. I might just have to show you the first scene you see Joseph Seed in. It is like a perfect introduction to him. Like, keep talking about Kuze real quick. Give me another scene that like a little cool thing he does. Like a nice little character interaction, maybe some character development.
I think it's...
Or maybe just a nice one-liner shit.
Ooh, that's... Like, I think his best one-liners were in the scene I just showed you when he's, like, talking about, like, yeah, like, the man who gets beat down isn't the loser. It's the guy who can't tough it out to the end is the one who loses, because he has this weird relationship with Kiryu. Like, he has to be Kiryu's enemy because Kuze is old-school Yakuza to the core, but he also has a lot of respect for Kuze, so he's giving him those lines about, like, you know, tough it out, there aren't any KOs, like, you gotta be willing to do what you gotta do. like delivering quasi-inspirational dialogue to Kiryu while preparing to beat his head in with a fucking pipe.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
And like the one scene where you fight Kuze and a bunch of other henchmen, like he only goes along with that because the other two Yakuza bosses are there and he like doesn't want any infighting. But like after it's over, he's just like, I hate the fact that these other dudes are here. I wanted to fight you one-on-one. This is not how I want to do things. There's actually a great little meme that was going around about Kuze. It was a photoshopped scene from SpongeBob. And it was like a little 15-second scene where I think SpongeBob was like running out of like Krabby Patty or something. He's like, he's so gonna kick my butt. And like another fish turns around and he's got Kiryu's face photoshopped on him, and it's just, how many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man? And then the old man comes out and it's Kuze's face. It's like, I love the young people.
Yeah, this is definitely a video for after the podcast because it's much longer than I thought, but I still desperately want you to see it.
Okay.
Like, this is, like, if I had a red card to lay down, right here, you need to see this.
A red card?
A desperate call for please watch this.
Oh, okay. Alright, yeah, got it. Like, I know it would never happen, and because, like, we can't really argue because we don't know enough about the respective characters, but I would love to see what would happen if Kuze ever met Joseph Seed.
I think from what I've seen, I mean, okay, real quick to be fair, Joseph Seed kind of has magical powers at a certain point, so like on a fight level, it's not really fair. But on like if they could influence either one of, like if they could try to influence each other, I feel like neither one of them could get through to the other. Like, Joseph Seed literally has visions from God, and Kuze seems like a literal, unbendable fucking badass. Like, the Iroh kind of. Like, you're not gonna change his mind, he's gonna change yours, or you're just not gonna be there anymore.
Yeah.
But, at the same time, Joseph Seed doesn't lose that often. He really technically doesn't lose, depending on how you play the game, the two games. Like,
I don't know, like
he's right almost the entire time. He survives the entire time.
Yeah. Like Kuze, he only ever really lost to Kiryu because Kiryu's basically superhuman.
As is Joseph Seed.
Like
in this weird spin-off
like
game.
Kuze, like Kiryu just literally just martial arts, like not even necessarily martial arts. He's a 20-year-old guy with no classical training who just rampages his way through the Yakuza world like with his fists.
Oh, I guess if we're talking about like an actual fight, like it would Kuze would do his little monologue and be like prepared to fight, and the father just would
take out a gun and shoot him, which would be the smart thing to do at that point because Kuze rose to where he was in the Yakuza literally on strength.
Like as long as Joseph Seed would probably almost within the first 30 seconds realize that he could or wouldn't be able to be indoctrinated, and depending on how dangerous he would notice he is almost immediately, which is probably immediately, he'd be like, yeah,
bang,
or several just to make sure.
Yeah, because Kuze, like he would have been like, it's a weird thing to say about Japan. I don't know if they have professional boxing in Japan.
I mean, they probably do. I mean, they've adopted a lot of Western sports, so I'm sure boxing is like a moderately or probably maybe really a popular sport. We just don't really hear about it.
Yeah, but Kuze was a boxer, and if he hadn't gone Yakuza, he would have gone into professional boxing.
Nice. Joseph Seed is just a dude who got visions from God, so. Yeah. But he also has a gun. Yeah. Which is what is the great equalizer.
Yeah, pretty fucking much. I mean, I want to say Kuze would still be able to put up a good fight. Because
in a game of just words, I think Joseph Seed would win.
Oh, yeah, he would.
Because that's his entire basis almost throughout the entire game, is just talking.
Yeah.
And that dialogue is...
Yeah, I wouldn't say Kuze's dialogue is great, but it's very Kuze. He's very blunt, to the point, doesn't fucking mince words. Like, he'll tell you what he's thinking or what you're doing wrong.
But see, the thing with Joseph Seed is he tells you the blunt thing, And then, as like a little side bonus, he says it in a more vague way. He's like, "You're gonna die. Here's the story. Not here's the story. You're gonna die. It's, yeah, here's the end, but here's the rest of it."
Yeah. Like, I don't know. Kuze is just such a fucking cool character. The main reason he's, like, pissed off at Kiryu is because, like, the Yakuza is a family, and when when Kiryu left, like, he wasn't really even mad at Kiryu for leaving. Like, yeah, you're not supposed to do that in Yakuza, but his whole thing was like, dude, the Yakuza is your family. You don't fucking treat your family like that, you asshole.
Yeah.
Just, love me some Kuze. He's just... I could talk about Yakuza 0 for hours on end.
I could talk about one of my... I guess I can't really talk about him for that long because there's almost literally no lore behind him. But he's in Gauntlet Dark Legacy, and Scorn is literally my default template for a demon devil character. Just, like, even if that's not the first thing I think of, like, if I, like, every time I would think of a demon character, if I could kind of, like, start going back, I could kind of realize that everything I picture is related to that character from Gauntlet Dark Legacy.
Yeah.
His very, very specific look, where he's like a no leg from the waist up, just giant red, yellow, marbled type thing with black nails. Not a human-ish face, but a very, like, dragon demonish face instead of, like, you know, like a regular Lucifer Satan character where it's, like, just a red person with a goatee.
Yeah.
But just, like, an actual, like, demon monster with horns and just the name Scorn. Ugh. There's nothing, like, substantial about him, but I just love him so much.
It is a very cool design.
And, like, just his simple, like, little mythos legend where you have to gather 12 rune stones, and, you know, well, you need the 13th to control them, but you need the 12 to summon them, and, like, it's... Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm almost, like, it's almost like an embarrassing crush I have on this game, like, so good.
That's fine. Like I said, at this point in my life, I have a huge man crush on Kuze, so I'm not gonna fault you for that. Like, I hope to become as fucking, like, just badass and cool as Kuze when I reach Kuze's age. I'm not going to, because I'm not a professional
I don't
boxer.
want to be Joseph Seed, but I at least wish I had his persuasive abilities. Like, the rest of them, I can leave that behind. I don't want to be that.
I do feel like, since I brought it up, I also have to talk about Goro Majima in Yakuza 0.
Yeah.
I'm not going to pull up the cutscene because it's a 10-minute cutscene, and that's just a bit tedious, but basically, when you meet Majima in Yakuza 0, it takes place in a club that he owns, and it's a cabaret club. I'm sure people know what that is. And it's just these two Japanese businessmen talking like, yeah, I know, like, this club's great. I'd love to meet the man who runs the club. And, you know, like, they're like 7 minutes of hype building up to Majima coming out.
Yeah.
And then, like, some commotion happens down on the lower floor, and, like, this guy is trying to cop a feel on one of the hostesses, which is against cabaret rules.
Damn straight. She's giving you your drinks, not her ass.
Yeah. And these guys, like, one of the businessmen is like, yeah, like, that's not good. Like, should we go down and stop that? And the other guy's like, no, don't worry. Like, the boss is gonna come out and deal with it.
Ooh,
and
the boss.
Yeah, just wait. The boss will show up and deal with this. So then Majima comes out, and to give you a picture of Majima, he's a very tall, slender built guy. He's built like me, which is weird for a Yakuza game for all the carnage that this guy wreaks in hand-to-hand combat. But, like, very tall, slender, Japanese man.
Waluigi. Lanky, but devastating.
Yeah, but also, like, really handsome. He's got an eye patch because he's missing an eye, and, like, his hair is pulled back in a very no-nonsense ponytail. And he just walks up to the guy, and he's like, sir, we have rules here at the club. I'm gonna have to ask you to refrain from touching the hostesses or engaging in any violence while you're here. And the guy's drunk off his ass, and he's like, oh, like, whatever, like, fuck you, I can do what I want. What are you gonna do about it? And Majima's just like, nothing. I'm not gonna do anything, because in business, the customer is king. So the guy's like, oh, okay, so I can secretly do whatever I want. Got it. And he grabs a bottle of really expensive booze and just pours it on Majima's head. And he's like, what are you gonna do about that? And Majima's,
fucking Christ.
Majima's just like, I'm gonna say thank you. I always said this brand was so good I'd like to bathe in it, and you've made a dream come true, sir. And the guy's like, what are you fucking on about? And he, like, gets into, like, a boxing stage. He's like, I'm gonna kick your ass. And Majima's just like, sir, if you want to dance, that's fine. But you're the customer, and I'm not going to lay a hand on you. And then he turns...
I guess he lays a foot on him?
Nope.
Oh, shit.
No, he turns to the big band, which is playing on stage, and he's like, boys, give me something with a beat. So the band, like, starts playing, and he's like, all right, I, Goro Majima, am prepared to dance with you. Let's go. So then, like, the guy swings at him, and Majima just, like, very easily, like, leans out of the way, like, walks around behind the guy, and he's like, sir, are you okay? You seem to be very drunk. The guy swings at him again. He dodges, comes around the other side. He's like, sir, I think you've had enough, and, like, gently, like, puts a hand on his shoulder. The guy swings at him again. Majima just straight disappears from the screen for a minute, and then, like, walks around to the other side of the guy. He's like, would you like a towel, sir? And is basically just dodging this guy.
Is he not actually going to hurt this dude by the end of this? Because he's really drawing out the not actually hurting this dude.
Yeah, he really doesn't.
He really doesn't?
Like,
Is he toying with him without actually hurting him? Is he trying to be kind of classy about it? Is that the whole point?
Yeah, so he's, like, dodging. Like, the guy grabs an ice pick out of, like, one of those, like, champagne buckets. And it's at this point that Majima does actually lay a hand on him. He, like, grabs him by the arm, flips him over the shoulder, disarms him, and says, for your own safety, sir, I'm going to hang on to this. And, like, puts the ice pick away. And then, like, his boys show up, like, pick the guy up off the ground. They're like, all right, like, we're going to go turn this guy into the fucking police. And Majima's like, no, don't do that. I think what is needed right now is compassion. And they're like, wait, what? And he's like, look, this is a very big business, man. Turning him over to the police would ruin a lifetime of goodwill that he's brought up in one night. And we shouldn't do that over, one...
I am literally falling in love right now.
Yeah, he's like, we shouldn't do that to this guy for one, like, just...
drunken accident.
Yeah, one drunken accident. So then he, like, turns to the crowd and he's like, look, can we please have some compassion here? And I think the exact line is like, look, recompense for soured wine should be fresh wine. And then he, like, pulls out the guy's business card that he pickpocketed during the fight, and he's like, so I see you're, like, the CEO of this big pharmaceutical company. I think in recompense you should pay for everybody's drink for the rest of the night. Your monthly income could handle that easily. And then he's like, so if the audience is willing, would you allow him to pay for your drinks in recompense? And everyone's like, yeah, no, like, that's a cool thing to do. And the guy, like, in the end starts feeling really bad. He's like, yeah, no, I fucked up. I'm totally willing to pay for your guys' drinks if you're willing to forgive me. And during the speech, Majima actually, like, got down on his hands and knees and, like, bowed to the audience. It was like, please don't ruin this guy's reputation for one mistake. Just let him buy you drinks and call it good. And everyone's like, oh, yeah, no, totally, that's fine. So then the guy leaves. Majima, like, apologizes for, interrupting everyone's evening and, like, very respectfully walks out of the room. And the two guys that the scene started with are sitting up there, and the new guy's like, holy shit, that was amazing. I can understand why this cabaret club is, like, #1 under this guy. And the other guy's like, just like, yep, that's the boss.
Okay, so Joseph isn't that charming, fucking Christ. I don't think anyone is.
Yeah, no.
I can't think of a fucking character in fiction that's that goddamn charming.
Yeah, no.
My God.
Majima is such an amazing character. Like,
I was waiting for the dude to, like, just immediately just kill this guy throughout the entire playful thing. I was like, yeah, like, you ready? You had enough? Blah, blah. Just snap his neck. Oh, you're just not gonna... Wow. Holy shit, you're a great person. Fuck.
Yeah. That's one of the really cool things about Yakuza 0 is that, like, despite all the carnage that Majima and Kiryu wreak throughout their game, they never actually kill anybody.
Really? Just beat the shit out of everyone, that's it?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Like, the only people, like, the only person so
I'm sure
far...
the actual deaths are, like, a couple major plot points, probably.
Yeah, like
where someone gets shot and everyone's like, what?
Yeah, one of the few deaths in the game is actually what kicks off in the whole entire plot. It starts off with Kiryu, like, beating the shit out of this guy to collect it dead. And then come to find out later that guy had been killed and they were framing Kiryu for it.
Okay.
So, like, yeah, not a whole lot... Not really, like, other than that guy, I don't think anybody in Yakuza 0 actually dies.
I guess that's a cool story element, but that kind of destroys the tension of the game.
Well, I mean, granted, a lot of people are trying to straight up kill Kiryu, but Kiryu's fucking
He's
super
the main character that you play as, so...
Yeah. In Yakuza 0, the chapters are split between Kiryu and Majima as the playable characters, and, like, even, like, in the start of Majima's storyline, he gets contracted to kill this girl, and he just doesn't because he's like, that's like killing people. Apparently, killing people in the Yakuza is like a big no-no and is reserved for like only very specific instances. So like because of where the guy
not realistic at all, but a nice thing.
But like because of where that first guy died specifically is this one small little plot of land that whoever controls it like gets, I don't know, it's weird, but everyone's after this really small plot of land, and because that guy died there is a huge fucking thing. So like when Kuze is interrogating Kiryu, he's like, look, if you had to kill this guy, you could have killed him anywhere else. Why did you have to kill him there? And he's like, Kiryu's like, but I didn't. I just roughed him up and took his money. That was my job. I didn't fucking kill this guy. Man, I love Yakuza 0. Like,
It sounds fucking dope, dude.
Yeah. I wish it had an English dub just because Majima was voiced by Mark Hamill in Yakuza 1. Yeah.
If only. Fucking Christ.
Like,
that's amazing. He's been everywhere.
Yeah, like, it for Mark Hamill to voice him wouldn't make a whole lot of sense because as of Yakuza 0, Majima hadn't adopted his Mad Dog persona yet. But I still think Mark Hamill could have pulled it off because Majima's like a very soft-spoken, very civilized.
He could probably revert to his early Luke voice.
Yeah.
Something like that, you know? A little bit more polite tone, maybe.
Yeah, it's just... God, there are no bad characters in that game. They're all really well fleshed out and very, very cool.
Yeah, I've heard and watched a lot about how great they are. Like, I need to play them.
Yeah, like, definitely start with 0.
So I think that probably concludes podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have anything else to really talk about.
Yeah, I don't really either.
We kind of went through our a very therapeutic ranting about our favorite games and movies, which was very nice. Sad Noodle couldn't finish it, but you know, different schedule.
Since this has to render out while it's doing that, I could probably just pull up that Majima scene and show it to you.
Well, I mean, I've already been like buffering this video.
Yeah, come on. All right, well. Thank you for listening. Like, subscribe, comment, go donate to the Patreon page.
And for this episode only, this was the cheese dip. Gravy next week. Yeah, week.
Probably, yeah.
Quote, unquote, week.
Yeah, we'll probably be discussing TV shows on the next one since we brought that up, so compile a list of 5 of those.
Get prepared for The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
A lot.
A lot of Walking Dead. All right, thank you. We will see you next time.
Next time.